is.
I don't know what our declaration should be, honey.
I'm not gonna do it right now.
Okay. I'm not gonna do the main
6
quest.
notification that you've gone live. Thank you, Twitch. I need to know 6 times, even though I haven't opened up.
You must know.
You must be aware. If you don't know and you aren't watching my stream, that's on you. Earn drops.
Wait, is that ripple gone? Oh no, it's there. Okay, how do I use the celestial thing?
Knock me up.
Oh, okay.
If I make it sound like Alan, I'm just gonna piss myself every time they start talking.
No, they're not gonna sound like him. You're gonna.
Make a character
It's gonna
based off
generate a character based off your voice, like an appearance.
Oh, I'm okay. Now I just want to know. Make me look like a fucking gremlin. Good kicking? Nice.
What is that game about?
Okay.
It's How do you explain
My eyes
it?
made. Did it start?
It's like an
Yeah.
My eyes made to
MMO
see.
type
I
deal.
can't even fucking read. Oh my god. Yeah, I got bamboozled too. Thought it meant it was going to use my voice, and like was like, damn. Okay, I'm gonna be authentic here. Sword as my vow. Together we brave any storm. Let's see what bullshit it gives me. Oh my god! You know who it looks like? That's actually, I love it. Look, she has the sad eyes. I might keep this. I might change some of the other. They even gave her like yellowish oranges eyes. Let's fucking go, you guys!
She's so pretty.
She, you know, what she looks like, or she reminded me of. She reminds me of is it May from Avatar: Last Airbender? Zuko's girlfriend. Mai?
I think it's Mai.
There's Ty Lee, Zula, and Mai.
I think it's May.
It is May. Okay.
He calls her May.
She looks like May. I might keep it. Even the lips are pretty. Okay, we're gonna keep this.
Hi,
And
Shark. How are you?
Sir will be lost. Return anyways. Oh. Escape. But I wanna. Can I customize it?
I'm super tired. You sleep?
Oh.
You go sleep?
Hi, Shark. Oh, those eyes are so pretty. Oh, is that currency? Oh, I see. Are these made models from other people?
Have you gotten any news about Killer Blade? Word is he was spotted.
Oh, they put the little tattoos on her lips, so it looks like she got little teethies.
Kitty. Lard Ball? Oh my god, they did not name this cat Lard Ball.
Lard Ball.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Gigi, if I get you a brother, his name would be Lord Ball.
I'm pet Lard Ball. He's
How
a
do
calico. He's so pretty.
Actually, is it possible to like change the details on her without losing everything?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Just go to next or something, or
Next or something.
I can't see because you're in the way.
It literally just says apply, but
yeah, apply and then it'll take you to another screen.
Are you sure?
Wait, can you go to the next tab? Press E. No,
There's
cancel
no
that.
E. Cancel. I don't know.
On the top left.
The customization? If I click on that, it takes me out of this.
Data will be lost.
Yeah.
Okay, what's on the bottom right corner?
return, import, F1 info. Try on background.
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
customized
cute.
I customized mine after I generated her.
Ooh, that's pretty. They have the little hat.
Like you can make her eyes more orange if you wanted to.
Orangey, yeah.
Oh, she's so pretty.
This picture has ears in it. Where are the ears? You're lying to me.
There's a lot of cosmetics you can get later on.
I kind of like this one a lot.
Some
It's
of
a
them
basic.
cost money
Okay.
though. Most of them cost money.
Sure, this will discard. Sure to apply. This will discard any unsaved changes. I'm really afraid.
Apply.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
okay,
apply.
okay. There we go. Okay. Eyes. Holy Christ on a Kringle. Oh, no. Shit. I just... Can I
I
make
got
your eyes
4
sadder?
hours last night. Why did you only get 4 hours of sleep?
You could pick them. You don't pay for them. Oh! The flames are just to see how popular they are. Oh! Look at you being smart. I want to make her eyes sadder. The fuck? Angle? No, not that. Full? No, not that. Front, back, all rotate? Oh, that's the inner side. I don't want to... I don't know what that is. Okay.
How do I break
Oh.
through again? Oh, my character needs to be level 20. Okay. Where was that umbrella? I want that umbrella.
Yes, ma'am.
That was really good and really filling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
What did you make?
I know, I was like, I can't ever tell how many raviolis to make because they're so...
Oh, ravioli.
I want to eat so many of them, and my body's like, you cannot.
You
eat
cannot put
so
any
many
more
of them."
ravioli in my body.
So Chris devoured his bowl. I'm like, here, finish mine. He goes, no, I'm stuck.
I know, I still have like 3. These things are fucking frozen. They're freezing in
I know.
front of me.
Right, Mike?
These are so cold. God, I frozen ass raviolis.
Delicious.
Yeah, good, good, good.
Good job.
Yay.
I didn't freeze the pork chops yet.
Mm. Your responsibility.
Cook them this week and just have a whole bunch of cooked pork chops.
Cool. Whatever you want. I bought those for you to make. Whatever you want. Wait, what did I buy? Right. Yeah, do whatever you want. Your job. I just give you the ingredients. You have to do whatever you want with it.
No, I missed. No.
Really saggy eyelids.
love this mini game.
Uma Musume won Best Mobile Game.
What did?
Uma Musume.
Of course it did.
Oh, there's the photo. Ooh.
Arena, new feature unlocked. Huh? Oh, I unlocked guilds.
I could just have her eyes super up. That's really funny.
Blade Sworn game. We hate it here.
Make her look so tired. Pupil, oh my god.
Gone
Sad.
fishing first. Obtaining jade fish automatically grants engagement point.
Whoa. 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 Oh, I wish I had. Ooh, wait.
7,000
Aw,
jade
me.
fish.
Ooh.
What can I buy?
Just having whole ass butterflies in your eyes. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
Fish.
I don't have that currency though.
I can give her goat eyes.
Fish.
Fish. Mm.
Fish heads, fish heads. Holy poly fish heads.
Ugh.
Healer's gift box. I don't know, I'm not gonna buy anything until I can break through again. What am I gonna get? Whole game crashes and freezes.
Dude, this is
Yeah.
it's like the scene from Spider-Man. Aunt May.
There's monkeys! I'm fighting monkeys! They were making monkey noises.
Funky Monkey Friday.
Funky Monkey Friday?
Must not must not
Why do you have to be something? Why aren't you
Go to the very top right corner and it'll be orange. Of the
did
color.
that. Literally, it's just me. I don't know how to make it work.
And maybe it's the eyes you chose.
I know, but
I'm sorry. I don't mean to frustrate you. Haha, get fucked. Get death touched. Ah! Oh, that's a big guy. Oh, holy. No. This is not a monkey. This is just a bald guy.
oh, bald man terrifying.
They are terrifying. Have you ever met a bald guy?
You know what? I
No.
kidding. My stepdad's bald. Oh, he was wearing a hat though. But I met that man once.
guy is terrifying.
Is my hair just black? Why not?
Yeah, you don't get another option unless you get
Wow,
dye.
so my eyeballs, I made my eyes look like goat eyes with little heart shines in them, but God forbid I have dyed hair.
Yeah.
God forbid my
You have to
hair
pay for dyed hair,
Christ almighty.
which I am really kind of sad about because I wanted blonde hair.
Heal. Must not touch.
I can't dodge. I can dodge. I can't. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Me, I'm
Must save all
Fucking
weird.
this asshole.
Ooh, can I make some pointy? More pointy ears?
I'm on fire.
I'm on fire. Oh.
Yeah.
We're cooking. We're cooking.
Death touch.
Oh, I can make them down a little bit for me.
This fight's hard, honey. I'm struggling. I'm letting me move my camera.
heart like morning dew.
I'm getting shot by arrows, and this guy with a double-sided spear keeps fucking rolling around. There's like 5 guys with spear, like with arrows, bows and arrows.
Bows and arrows.
Bow and arrows.
Bows and arrows.
Bows and arrows. Stop Yeah, get thrown against the wall, dummy. Ooh, 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 get him. Ooh, kill him. Ooh, ooh, kill him. I didn't choose story mode because I wanted a challenge, and now I didn't choose story mode. I am streaming. I got a lot of stuff.
What a story.
Pumpkin, can you recalibrate yourself?
Sorry, I'm very sorry. No.
You're very shrimping, aren't you?
I'm doing her lips right now, so I was like looking at them very sorry.
Very closely.
I was, yeah. I'm trying to get the perfect little upturned corners.
I gave mine a little bit of like the middle. The Cupid's bow is like
The
up,
Cupid's
so it
bow.
shows.
Oh!
So it shows her teeth a little. I like it. I like it a lot. You're covering my face.
I'm sorry. Did you just move yourself away from what's happening? Oh, every time I lean back, you like lean away from me. It's
Oh,
really
I wasn't
funny.
moving myself. I was moving you. No, you're too far away now. Fuck.
I didn't even go. I didn't do
Oh,
anything.
no, I did it. I was trying to. Rolling,
Horrible.
rolling, and we're
Oh my
rolling,
god, I couldn't
rolling,
imagine if
rolling.
anybody looked like that.
There's 2 pumpkins on your stream. Oh, there's 2 mashies on your stream, Pumpkin.
Are you high?
Are you talking about the reactive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really.
Oh yeah, there's 2 mashes.
I'm gonna have to
but
add like several browser
Wow.
sources.
I thought
to-
you were talking to me and
I was
like.
talking to
you're-
both of you.
Yeah. Whatever. Shut up, stop talking. Oh, you like it when the lips do that? That's not a Cupid's bow. The Cupid's bow is when it points on the top.
When they kiss me.
I
Oh.
like when they kiss me.
Kiss me.
Kiss me hard.
Yes.
Classic TF2 reference. Also, that one's good too. Touch me. Touch me hard.
Oh, please touch me.
His reprimands. God.
What can I recycle?
It's always funny when you make their face look perfect from the front, but then you go to the side, you're like, oh!
Oh, what is that? Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mouth muscle.
Ooh.
What the Christ? What the hell is that all about?
What's all this
Why
then?
is that even an option? What the hell? That's so weird. Why is that an option?
I want to go fight that boss, honey.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go fight him.
I'm in the kiln right now. I'm actually trying to catch up to you now.
Okay. Survive fatal damage once, recover 20% HP, and gain 3 seconds of invulnerability. Unlock special skills for your martial arts. Unlock a mystic skill shots. I already did that one. Dual weapon skill. Unlock dual
Oh, that
weapon
one's
skills for your
cute.
martial arts.
Kind of like this one. though. a little hat.
Yes.
Her being bald with that hat would be so funny.
Press
Oh,
tab.
this one's pretty. Wait. Wait, what happened to your hair? No.
Oh no! Bald! Bald!
Oh. That's lame. I can't wear this hat with this hair because the buns are in the way. That's upsetting. Oh my god, stop scrolling, please. Ooh!
Did I tell you why the letter E was the only letter to get presents? No. Tell me.
Isn't she pretty? Isn't she so pretty?
Because the rest were naughty. That's great. I like that one.
That's silly.
I like that a lot.
Karen, you're a silly man.
You're silly, silly man.
You're a silly, silly man. Duo pose? Oh, cute! Oh my god! That's adorable. Oh! Oh! Oh. Okay. Back. Put your buns back on. Okay.
What am I supposed to do with these sheep? I'm gonna shoot them.
Oh.
Oh, I don't get anything from shooting them. Oopsie. Well,
Ooh.
I thought they would have meat, but I guess not.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're going with it. Look at, she got, oh, damn. Cute! Okay. we're
Pissing
cute.
all by yourself, handsome.
Ooh. Does she have a, where's the bow? Where is it where she's got the shield? Ah. Ooh, the lantern. Where's her holding the bow?
Heart like morning dew.
Stop hitting me with your torch!
No. Background.
What?
Ready.
At a dinner show. I'll be back later. Okay.
Ready.
I'm gonna steal this guy's horse.
Ooh.
Nice.
Bing.
So this game, I don't really know what it's about, honestly.
But we're just here.
But we're just
having a good
here.
time.
Yeah. I mean, I could own a house with Shizzle.
Ready. Okay, we're done. We're done.
I'm living my dream of owning a house.
That's not what I was wearing. Damn it.
Yeah, you don't get to keep it. Unfortunate.
God damn it. I just.
Is this the permanent banner? Or is this the permanent banner? Guaranteed legendary in 140 draws. Damn game.
I just sent you a message.
You sent me a message?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. It is though, it is.
Heart like morning dew.
Oh my god.
Drunken precision. Use the skill in the pitch. Oh, I wonder who's gonna pick that one.
You don't keep those skills, by the way, which makes me sad. I like the tipsy one. To learn combat.
Name already taken. Suck a cock.
Yeah, I had to put MAHSHI. Because every single version of Mashy was taken.
Good thing nobody knows what pumpkin does. Oh, bitch, look, my coin.
They took Smashy Maro, they took Mashy, they took Mash-E with 2 eyes.
Fucking nasty. Master E, jungler, no! I hate Master E's. Warwick is worse though. Can you? Hey, girl. Oh, I forgot to take the makeup
someone
off.
calling me?
God bless. I guess I have makeup on.
Are you done yet? Can I join your world?
A little girl's slapping me really hard.
That's Ruby.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm getting mad. Ruby, were you hitting me?
Man,
It's
this is a
fine. Viego
Wendy's.
better anyway. Viego is
Man,
so
this
hot.
is a Wendy's.
Goddamn.
I really wish I could dye my hair blonde in the game.
Oh, I meant IRL. Like, you are blonde. What do you mean? Man, I wish blondes were real. I take that back. I don't. This little Ruby girl's so cute. I love her hair. And little girl, in 18 years, you could be just as pale as me. MFO! Yes! Okay. What am I doing? I'm running. Ooh, what's this?
Damn.
Okay, ooh, what's that? It's a
Return her
dragon.
to me. Damn.
Wait, little, why are you out here? Let her play with it. What is she gonna do? Stab herself? It's a fucking spear. If she stabbed herself, I'd be pretty impressed. Then starts to stab. Wow. Okay, lady. Oh my god, you're so stupid. You can't play with it in front of her and then say she can't play with it. Rude. I would too. Oof. It's all fun and games until the kid spears itself. Hey, kid kebab.
God,
Kid
I'm
kebab!
so tempted to make it look like a fucking Dark Souls character. Just the most diabolical shit you've
No,
ever
there's
seen.
no
Is there a Wendy's
Wendy's
in this
in
game? No,
ancient
cops.
China.
Away to Jiangwulong. Since your retreat to Heaven's Pier, you have turned away all our gifts and cut ties with the mundane. Proof enough of your intent to leave the past behind. One of my disciples, Tian Ying, discovered a strange item and risked his life to deliver word, only to be caught in Tang's hands. Upon hearing this and knowing the dream's puppet calamity has returned, I now write to you. Years of state affairs have left me little peace. Even so, I heard you penned a lament for Kong Khan. Old grudges still burn and new threats now rise. How can one not grit their teeth in rage? I ask you again to draw your sword. Tian Ying is a man of honor, though a disciple. I have long held him dear. If you meet him in that distant land, he would prove great help to you. I hope I get to see Yasuo and Yone. Do you want to build a Wendy's? Am I in a broom making factory? Why are there so many brooms on the wall?
I'm still laughing at the Frozen rendition. Frozen cover. Do you wanna build a Wendy's?
Do you want to build a Wendy's? I hope I see Wukong in this. I hope I see any League of Legends character in this game. Oh god. Fiora, what are you doing here? This isn't France.
I could actually see Wukong being there, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, at least he's Chinese.
He's a monkey.
He's what?
Monkey.
He's a Chinese
I said he's a
Pokemon, though.
monkey.
Well, wait, maybe Mashy did run into him.
Hmm.
I'm
Monkey.
Chinese. Can I be in the game? Yes. Except you'd be jobless because there's no giant mechanical industrial
You'd be
vehicles in this
jobless.
game.
There's no trucks.
There's no trucks. There's no forklifts. No,
I'll be
actually, I
back
meant the
in a bit.
Chinese Wukong, the Great Sage sequel to Heaven. Bye. The Monkey King, the Trickster. Oh, you mean the actual Wukong. Did you play that one game that came out? Was it last year or this year? I don't know when it came out. I know it came out recently. Where you play as Wukong? I'm pretty sure that came out recently.
Bald. Bald.
What are you The stimming has commenced.
Beefing with my chick while I'm in jail.
Why are you mad? Let's go. Wait a little longer. I'm gonna make this kid wait until she turns 30. I'm not talking to you. I'm still mad. Same, Ruby. We have the same way of dealing with our problems.
Sorry, I was taking a survey. It
Of
looked
course
like
I
I was
did.
just
Me
staring
and
at
the monkey are
the same
twins. What do you
screen.
mean you were the monkey or twins? You both pole dance on a giant spear? There's no man in black. They're not real. Anubis, don't you want to lick my bowl? Do you want to build a snowman? Honestly, it's so cold in here, it could snow inside of my room.
It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
It's supposed to be like -30 this weekend. Ha! I need so many of these stupid adventure slips. Where's my friend? Where's my friend list? How do I sneak up on this thing? Can I shoot it? No. I got it. No, I have not. There's no grass outside, it's all covered in snow. No, I'm not gonna go touch snow, it's cold. Meow meow. Gigi would not touch the snow, he hates the outside.
I should make a neck tattoo.
If you're a real Gigi fan, you would know that he hates the outside.
Chichi also hate the outside.
No. I wanna...
Where you at, Mashi?
I'm shooting couple butterflies.
Your class.
I ask about Miss Aunt Han's whereabouts at the inn. Where are you at?
I am also looking for
But I want to do the boss. So you should come to my world.
I've returned. I apologize. I had to chase a puppy around for a little bit.
That's so whack. I can't turn these into a neck tattoo.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Costa Rica!
I killed that deer for you. I did it for you.
I'm sorry, Ruby. I'm getting comfy.
How do I move more?
Where's my peach branch, Mushy?
Your peach
You didn't
branch?
Give me any branches.
Where do I find them?
Click on me in my name.
Okay.
I don't have any peach branches.
Ruby, let's go.
Here's one.
I'm trying, Ruby. How do I leave? Do we just go? Oh. Gee.
There you go, honey.
Collected
There's your
something.
peach branch.
A wine jar. Container used for storing wine. Wow! Southern regions mainly use ceramic jars, while the Northwest prefer clay jars. For new jars, cover the 7 gin of ash fire on top. Wait until thoroughly heated, then coat with wax oil. For old jars, they must be smoked at the beginning of winter. Why? Who cares? The beaten path must be avoided!
Mind if I ask you something?
Accept that.
Except what?
This game is very different than I thought it was going to be. Oh, it's sparkly. I need it.
In a bad way? It's not letting me accept it. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm burning. I'm burning.
Lotus miasma. Miasma? Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my god.
Stop standing. Shoot it?
V as in Victor.
Victor!
Do I not have
No, I don't think so. You think you need to do a quest for that?
Are these poison?
Can you die?
Yeah? Okay, I'll go.
Wait, don't do that now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's been in a co-op world.
Can I climb up walls? Oh, that makes sense.
A healer.
Get that guy.
All souls.
I'm just baller like that, I guess.
To circle.
Oh, there's a Mopopo. Shoot. Oh, but I don't have. Oh, God, stop using.
Butterflies.
Agate? I just
Beautiful
collect a
butterfly.
whole ass
Beautiful
agate.
butterflies.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
People love to collect agates over here.
Oh, in Oregon, too. My mom had jars and jars and jars of them. That's insane.
They're the ones over here.
literally- Oh, okay.
Literally what?
Heroin, Ruby.
Heroine. Go to the temple, butterflies.
Yeah, it's gonna make us sick, child. I just stood in it by myself.
Oh, thank you, honey. I was waiting here like, is it gonna open? Hey, you yoinked that. You yoinked that. Where are we going? Oh, over here to kill
Yeah.
these guys?
What are we doing with these butterflies?
Let's sneak up on them. Sneak up on them.
Yeah, what do you want me to do with this fucking...
Square.
You want me to touch this butterfly?
Oh.
Why do you want me to touch it? You want me to stand in it? Like, what do you want from me? It's actively hurting me. Okay, let's not say we did, child. Am I supposed to do something with those purple flowers?
Purple flowers? There's like mini games.
I don't know,
You're
I
supposed to
stand in
shoot
it-
the purple butterflies.
Oh, shoot the purple butterfly?
Yeah, I don't think you have a bow yet, though. You need to
I do.
explore the world. Oh, okay, you do. Yeah.
No one has
Oh my god! They just shot that bird right in front of me! That could hit my face! Who the fuck are you?
You don't have to shoot the butterflies, you can melee them too.
Maybe the
I'm gonna go
butterfly.
hit some butterflies, I guess.
Oh, cook. Baby, it's cold outside. I'll make you... What?
You're right. It's cold. Ah! Oh!
I really can't stay.
Ow! Did I just get a new eyeball?
Look how handsome. Look how handsome he is. Look at. Ooh.
Raspberries. Wait, so why?
You hold it so manly.
A drink.
Okay.
There's a chest over here. Oh!
Boundless as a plume.
Ooh, pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go do this real quick.
Okay, what happens if I do this?
Healer must not hesitate.
Oh, hold on. Stay still.
Perfect health and free from any.
What did that do to you? Oh, I'm itchy. Oh, I'm so itchy. Oh.
What the fuck?
So itchy. What did you do to me?
That
did
lasts
you-
for 5 minutes.
That's so
You
long.
made her itchy? What the hell?
Oh, so itchy. He gave me poison ivy. Are you
a bad
laughing at me
person.
or are you coughing?
Yeah, I'm laughing. That's what you used on me.
That's really funny.
Wait, if I do this, does it get rid of it? Oh yeah, you can use it again. No, I can use it again.
I love just being able to fucking run up walls. That's pretty insane. Hello there, mysterious man.
Careful, I'll throw you. Be careful, I'll throw you.
Does this not work?
What are you trying to do?
Listen. There we go.
I have a disease.
Oh, you're
There's a
precious.
disease.
I have a disease to treat. I'm ill.
Bang.
I'm feeling unwell. My muscles. I have a sprain.
Oh wait, heal the illness. Confirm.
I tried to set up my archery range in my backyard, but it was so windy yesterday it knocked everything over.
Malaria. You can get malaria? What the fuck?
Malaria. You can get malaria? Crazy.
Wait, what am I doing?
I have head problems.
What
My
is
muscles. My muscles and bones hurt all over.
His name's not Mysterious Man anymore. His name is Fang.
What's that fire gonna do?
Hey!
Ouch! Are you
Stop making
killing?
fun of him!
Are you killing the
I'm
disease?
killing your disease.
It's not a
I mean,
disease.
how
I
is
just
that
have a
easy?
sprained ankle.
Could you imagine if you could expel your sickness into a thing and then you could just kill it?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fear, you should give me. You should You should post a picture of your character and put it in the gaming.
You
channel.
guys should add me. My name is Mashi.
I don't think we can play with Fear
MAHSHI.
because they're in Europe. But
No,
I'll
there's
add
no
you.
servers.
No?
Is there? I don't think.
I guess you
don't
could
know.
try.
You could try. Add me. I'm pretty sure I'm friends with someone from another country.
I mean, I did just see in the world chat that a bunch of people are from a bunch of different places.
Yeah. Are you healing me yet? What did you do to me?
Oh my god, what's happening?
Internal pain. What the hell? You're almost done with this one. Come on.
What do you get for a person who can't have material possessions? Fang would be a terrible boyfriend.
You give him acts of service.
Truth. Hello?
See, I have to get rid of that one.
What am I looking at?
This is the start of the month.
That's it?
That's it, yo. So
Nice.
you're doing a good job, but don't
Oh no.
make yourself cold.
Oh.
You need the heat. Use the heat. Just
Okay.
feel good,
Can you bring me my gummies that are on the counter?
you know?
Thanks. I don't know. Did you piss on the floor or was that Lydia? Sometimes your lack of circulation.
I really can't stay, baby. It's cold outside.
I just think of
I
Elf
gotta
when I think of that song.
song.
When she's
Elf.
singing in the shower
Yeah.
and he goes into the shower and he doesn't understand. He's not supposed to be in there. Yay, lifesavers! You're a lifesaver, Chris.
Come in here and pay, Lydia.
No, get out of here. Get your piss baby out of here.
Yay, you healed one. Symptom
Who's
outbreak.
that guy?
I knew I was just gonna do
Oh, it hurt you.
It was just
Attacked
him.
you. God, this takes forever.
You're not seeing what I should be streaming. It's just, so it's like Gift of Gab. I get a certain amount of abilities, but I can only use so many. And I have 10 turns to cure you.
Me and bro look a little more standard. Let's look at him. Let's go look. I'm gonna go look.
Oh, here we go. This will heal you. Big damage.
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
I want to almost start over my character because I think I fucked up and didn't realize
Mediocre.
I could have done.
What? I need
Damn.
money, ma'am. Ma'am, I need money.
I don't have money. I don't have
Yours looks
money.
really cool, Fear. I like yours a lot. I would have done more if I knew I could have done more. I couldn't find all the tattoos and stuff.
Oh, we can like exchange our relics and stuff we have.
I have a rooster
Do you
bowl.
have any duplicates? I have two third.
I don't think that was let me do that again. Let's try
Oh,
again.
I need to kill some birds. That's right. Wait, Fear.
No, all mine are not duplicates.
I have two of these. I have two third bowls.
Sorry.
Wait, can
I
I
have-
change?
First bowl and fourth bowl, and then two third
Oh.
bowls.
We're making out. You can't stop us. Change canceled.
Oh, I can just wear a mask because
Oh, what
I'm
is
so ugly.
Oh.
Really can't stay. 'Cause baby, it's cold. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. How do I get that? Damn. Oh.
We're sleeping. Why do we sleep
Man,
with?
are you telling me I can't change her makeup? Ever? Oh! My god, yes! I can.
Oh, my adventure slip is at max, so I can't get any more now.
I can get more.
Okay, I want to change.
How do you know? Does it say?
It just
Makeup.
popped up.
Foundation. I don't want any of that. I just want... Okay, let's go look at eye makeup. Let's get...
I love how we could just sit here and AFK this. If we really wanted to. We get money, we get EXP, we get
I don't
Jadefish,
want
and we get
the-
adventure slips.
And I can look at my other stuff while we do this too.
Yeah.
I don't care for the double eyelid. Eyeshadow. I don't
Shop.
have
What's
any
new in the
on.
shop again?
What eyeshadow do I have
It's
on?
the sect shop.
Oh, I see. Damn, what?
The sect.
Oh, I can make
Yeah.
her makeup look like my makeup, actually, that I normally do.
Oh look! Oh, it's like kind of looks like the demon hunter, K-pop demon hunter hat. Kinda.
Is it the wide black rimmed hat?
Yeah.
Someone's moved the table.
Okay.
Kinda
I'm ready to
that
go
one, but
fight.
It's too...
I'm just looking at.
I wish I could just do the under eye. Oh! Oh. Eyeshadow.
We have to go
eyeliner.
to the Red Maple Forest and join
Ooh.
our union partnership.
Oh,
Kind of like that one.
Partnership.
I don't have that.
You click on me and you say partnership.
Is that how marriage works? You just
Yeah.
click on them, right click.
Or press G on me and then partner request. Your partner's already in a team?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Who did you
we are
partner-
on a team. You wouldn't you're in a team, you dummy. You gotta go on online mode. Bye bye.
What?
That's what it said.
Why did you leave?
Just go online mode.
Online.
Oh, now it says you're sectless.
Someone's playing really pretty music over here.
Come down here. Come down here.
I want to clap. How do I
You
clap?
got the clap? Ooh!
Just do
Go
the
back.
How do I like?
It showed up when you were like looking right there.
Yeah,
You
you
know
did
what?
it.
My stuff.
Where are you, hun?
To the town. To the right.
Accidentally started a fight with
South-
NPCs. Not
south
sure if
right
their
there.
AI already and learned my behavior. Name, but fuck it. I hold their asses. Fuck yeah, let's go.
South right.
South right. You gotta teleport.
I don't see you on the map.
I'm the one.
Oh, you're the one.
There's a teleport like
Oh,
I see that.
yes, that's what I was looking for. What is that? Ooh, I kind of like that.
Alright, let's go to it. We gotta go this way.
Ooh. You can't even see it because of the bangs. That's really funny.
Oh my god, I'll make more
We can craft? I don't have any crafting. Oh, we need to do the archery competition for fire arrows.
Oh, to make the fire arrows, yeah.
Yeah. The competition's Riverside Station.
Oh, we're going this way. We're going this way.
I know, I'm coming, I'm coming. We're running up the walls. Oh, you slipped. Oh, you slipped.
Is this?
Oh, that's really pretty.
Whoa! Whoa! He's floating.
Hey, he's standing on a stone.
How do I can't activate the stone?
Oh, you have it.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
It's so laggy. Yes! What do I do? What do we do?
I don't know. I can't. It says please write a note, but I can't type in there.
True, so many people in the Discord call.
So open chat. It won't, I don't know. It's not
Excuse
letting
me.
me type in there. I feel like I need to fix my game. So open up your chat and go to me,
Uh-huh.
and click on my little icon, and you can like partner. No, like on
Why
the
are
left.
you? Why is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doing it like
partner
that? Weird.
request.
Partner
What?
request.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then talk to She Emo here.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I kind of like that. Ooh.
You are not the leader, cannot operate.
Oh, here, what if I do?
This is just a baby.
It's the baby.
She's so tiny. She's forming unions with people.
Maybe she was like an ancient fox spawn. Oh, now I can type in it.
Gigi, what are you doing?
What do I put? What do I put?
What do you put?
Freckles? Freckles?
Are you in character creation again?
Yeah, because I found I could put more stuff on her face.
Crazy.
It cost a
What?
thing. I think you only have one of them, so make it count.
Yeah, you don't have infinite character creation things.
I'm just doing the original one.
Yeah, but it still's gonna cost you a thing.
What do you mean it's gonna
You have
cost
like
me?
a thing
A
in your
ticket.
inventory. It's like called the water
Oh,
machine
whatever.
ticket something.
Oh,
Oh.
Felicia Day. Felicia Day is at the Game Awards.
Oh, what the?
What was that? That's weird.
Can I rotate her?
Facial
Voltate.
hair. Hell yeah.
Rotate.
Control, and click. Up,
Mm,
down, back and forth, left, right, and then hold control and you can rotate.
okay. There we go. No, I'm done. There. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Yo, but there are some crazy hairs. Hairs?
Whoa, you just got really big.
Okay.
You
Mashy.
went way back. Come forward a little more.
It's okay, Torvik, you didn't know you were gonna get a sudden growth like that.
Yo. I don't
Sometimes
know
it just
how-
happens.
What are those?
I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah, check the Discord gaming channel again. Uh-oh.
What is that
No.
one? I don't have that. Wonder if you just have different.
It's called Elegant.
Oh, so yours is just different. That's what I'm using is elegant.
God bless.
Oh no.
Bless your soul. Damn. You really liked K-pop Demon Hunters, didn't you, Fearsome?
Fearsome.
Mashy, how do I befriend?
What the?
Hold on.
I'm
Go to
sending you
options.
my code. I'm sending you my code. You figure it out.
Okay. Whoa. You added a tree?
Okay, what am I doing? Damn. Wait, how do I hold my breath?
Are you doing the archery thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's as
What
far
the- what
back
did
as
you
I
add?
can.
What is that?
It's I don't know. It's a little.
So I can only have 2 decorations.
How many birds do I have to kill?
I have this.
Yeah, I think we all have the same thing. I can't see what you.
Give me the costume,
pumpkins,
insane
clown
demonia
heads in
boots,
the way.
and I'll perform the entirety of your idol. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that video into my DMs, okay?
This is huge.
Yeah,
Oh!
it's good. Get
I
rid of
was
it.
supposed to
Oh,
talk
what
to you
if
first and then shoot the birds? Excuse me.
Yeah, that's too big. Can we like? Oops.
Ha, Fang! You fucking suck at archery.
I wish I could sit.
Yeah, we don't. We have to unlock all the other emotes. There's nothing. Okay, we'll go with that. Get rid of this table.
Okay, I did it. Fang, you're really bad at archery, not gonna lie.
You gave me your code. I don't know what to fucking do with it.
Figure it out.
Mm. They need like a look at camera option because this looks silly.
Well, turn. Oops. Yeah, turn more. Move to your right. Like, go right here.
Where?
Right where I'm at. Oh, I have to let go.
Fang says, "Don't talk to strangers, kids."
Is it not moving me? Oh, there it goes.
We are inside each other. Whoa.
Hot.
Whoa.
Wish that was me.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I sent you a friend request.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! She's going up the strangers.
I kind of like this one.
I'm gonna shoot that bird. Just kidding. That
Raising
one's
hand.
colorful. They gave me a roasted pigeon
have
of
a
regret.
flute.
What the fuck? Oh, look at that. Why? Why? I did it. Friend added successfully. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's crazy. Meshy.
Yes.
Zilla and Fearsome have added me before you. You're
We are
not my
in
friend anymore.
the middle of forming our union.
Are you guys getting married? Is that slang for marriage?
We're forming our
Could you
partnership.
imagine getting married in a video game? I know it's not that crazy. It's kind of crazy, but like just because there's a marriage option in the video games, you chose to do your vows inside the video game. Sent a request and it's literal pigeon. It fucking dangles from the belt, no feather, no nothing.
What?
Where's my excuse me. Okay, these people are now my friends. What does that mean?
What?
Right here. Move here.
Ooh, a hat! I have a hat on!
You have a hat on.
I have a hat on, but I don't see it. I'm gonna kill this
Like that?
fucking bird.
Yeah.
Bitch, where'd you go? You fucking disappeared.
We just.
Oh, there you are. Oh, wait. Can I have my arrow back? And can I have this dead bird? Oh, I killed it in vain. That's worse.
Cute.
Is that a dead
Complete
body?
a mini game in the.
Why? They're just but these gonna stink so bad. Oh my god. Try to equip it, you'll see. Try to equip it? How I equip? How equip? Ah,
What?
damn it.
Let's try this.
Team feature unlocks after. Oh.
Oh, no, not that.
How I equip?
Let's try this.
Oh my god, stop using that. I F G Z X.
Quick match.
Nope. Crouch.
F3?
Is this gonna pit us up against other players?
Maybe? I mean, I don't.
I guess waiting for
In
us to
appearance,
find
I
it.
think. In appearance?
Well, here, since we could do any mini game, we could do. Okay, this one just needs us.
Oh no, I could just have a little. That's disgusting.
I'm not teleporting you.
I have a little chicken dangling for me. That's horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
There we go.
Hello, stranger. Why are you weird? Dangling chicken. It's a dangling pigeon!
What builds are y'all doing?
You're asking
I was
a lot.
going to heal or DPS or something.
Oh no, yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no actual build making until after level 41, I think.
Damn.
I think I'm gonna start
I like the voice for Wayfarer. He sounds so slithery.
What do I do?
What is that bear doing? This Wayfarer's a little flirty. Fruity.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Haggle. I hate haggling.
We dance.
Oh, fine. But I only have 68 little thingies. Wait, I can be a healer? Guys, bend over.
Urgent!
I'll
Need a
test my new
skilled doctor to
acupuncture
treat
therapy
my
on you guys.
illness.
God
Bubonic
damn!
plague. What the fuck? Someone has
The
bubonic
plague is in
plague?
this game?
Yes.
What the fuck?
That's funny.
Get plagued, idiot.
Wait, what did you just say?
Get
Honestly, get
plagued.
played.
I unlocked a I heart you emote. I think you get it from your mail.
What are we doing? This dance is so steady on the arms.
Hold on, let me add Pumpkin and everyone else who wants to be added.
Oh no.
Friend, add friend. What's your friend? What's your name in the game?
Me? I
Yeah.
sent you the code.
Just what's your username?
Pumpkin to yokai.
Pumpkin to yo.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, yeah.
Is this you, Zilla?
Wow.
Your
I'm
full
floating.
name
I'm
isn't
floating.
popping up. Pumpkin.
I don't know.
I
Then
mean-
use the code.
Oh my god.
Did I just steal out of this
Invalid
fucking
characters?
Why do you have 2 accounts?
What are you talking
Oh, I
about?
can't have spaces
Okay.
in the guild name.
Mashy. Mashi.
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 Yeah. That's my
This
name
is
now.
your persona.
I sent a meme for you, Mashy, and memes.
I got it.
I think you'd appreciate it too, Zilla.
This bear's dumb. Why does the bear know martial arts?
Why not?
They said the bear is a man, but the bear knows martial arts.
Shizzle, that's you! Oh my god.
Tai Chi!
Oh, plague be upon thee.
Tai Chi! What? Skill theft? What the fuck? Am I gonna go talk
if
to
you're
this
the little
bear?
spoon.
Oh
I
my
like Team
god!
Big Spoon,
I'm about to
actually.
kick this bear's ass!
I just didn't expect you to
What if
violently
I just
rip
help her get the
ass.
honey? Oh lord. Oh god!
Do you
Ah!
need my name? Or did you already put my name?
I sent you an invite. Friend invite.
Oh, I'm gonna get my ass beat by a fucking bear.
You did?
Yeah. Zilla?
No, it's Conzilla.
Get out of here,
Or
bear!
Zilla was gonna be taken.
I don't see. Do you have a code?
Yes, let me get that for you. Boopity-poo-poo. Boopity-poo-poo.
What the heck? There's acquainted companions, kindred comrades, allies.
Oh, am I
harmony,
supposed to
enduring sworn,
throw
dust, and
you?
vowed.
I can steal this horse? Come at me.
There you go.
Get out of here, dude! I'm trying to fight this bear!
Oh, synced action.
You have to
Follow and move
use
together with another
the
You have
martial
to,
arts.
yeah, use
Who the
Tai
fuck
Chi
are
and
you,
throw it
man?
to the rocks. My voice, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is a real dude.
Except that.
Oh, I wonder if that's why.
That's really funny. I thought that was a
You just follow me.
NPC.
Except
I am your little dog.
Yo.
Uh-oh. Okay, it's still working.
God damn it.
I can't believe 20 minutes in this game and I see a reference to Kung Fu Hustle.
Facts.
Okay, what's everybody's? Everybody should just add me. My name's easy. It's
Hollow Knight.
It's
I'm
a
gonna
shizzle.
be real with you. I don't know how to add no one.
Okay,
Where do I click
so
on that
press
button?
enter.
Okay,
Or press
enter.
Yeah.
Yes,
Or-
and then
Oh,
go to
friend.
friend.
What is it?
Shizzle.
Just shizzle. I'm not helping no old man that's yelling at me. You're probably a skinwalker.
Ooh,
There's no skinwalkers in
There's
this
two
one.
shizzles. It looks like
Yeah,
it's the same person, though. I think
it is
it's
the
just
same
broken.
person.
Yep,
just...
and it added both of you. Okay.
Okay.
There was 2
Yeah.
of Pumpkin and 2 of Zilla as well, so it's just
That's
broken.
Pumpkin to yo. That is funny. It won't spell all the way.
I'm not seeing
Why would
shit
they
still.
allow me to have that and then?
Zilla's just Zilla.
No, I'm Conzilla.
Conzilla.
Oh, is your head stuck in the rock? I'm gonna fucking.
Conzilla.
You're in a
Not showing
very
up either.
vulnerable position, old man.
Hey, you don't show up either. I wonder if it's because you have to hit a certain point in the.
Oh, I've gotten past the bear.
Add their
I
code,
was-
honey.
huh.
Just add their codes.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
farther than him.
Yeah, here.
What code?
That's Scylla, and that's... Again.
Oh, you
That
just-
would be it. Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
The hive?
I wonder if capitals matter. Let me try that.
Oops.
The capitals matter, that's why.
Oh, that makes sense.
I was typing it without a capital.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna.
It's so deformed though. 'cause,
I
like, they're
know.
taller.
I like...
Alright,
Hey, I got the thing out of the twee.
friend.
Let me hear? Here? Submit oddities.
I just made sent guild invites as well.
A fan.
Sort of flip.
Oh, cute. Oh!
I don't think they can join the guild yet. They're not a high enough level.
Probably.
Oh.
I sent it, so maybe.
I'm gonna have to go with the umbrella just because of engine.
Guild not unlocked yet.
Yeah, it doesn't unlock until
Yeah,
like
that's pretty
20, I
fucking
think.
Cool, though. Cool. Cool.
That's not you.
Nameless spear.
Where'd oh, there you are. Marshall
Oh.
Billboard. Bounties unlock at 23.
Oh,
I think bounties are
oh.
PvP. Aren't they PvP?
No, they're like different things. There's nothing in here though. Or maybe I just don't do anything.
That's funny. Ugh.
I'm stuck on a load screen. Oh, okay, so these are bombs. So this is what things people put up.
I'm not level 23 yet, so I can't see it.
Yeah, but like, yeah, there's hunt players. There was a thing for like defeat, hunt, complete tasks, cure disease, or resolve false accusations.
Claim your guild rewards.
Okay. So
Perform
mystical.
2-player emote 1 time in the guild garrison.
Oh no. You know I'm gonna do it. I'm so sorry, Bambi.
I think I accidentally bought mahjong chips.
Crazy. Can I hang a deer?
Did I
off of my
literally
body?
just level up to 23? What the fuck? How? I didn't even do anything.
Why did I just hear the Game Boy noise?
Cause my phone's on loud.
Yeah.
Because you heard it.
Oh, you. It made me feel really weird there for a second. I thought I was 7 again.
So, what is
Haha,
precision?
haha, haha. I'm still your horse. Idiot.
Precision?
Yeah, there's precision, and then there's also
I'm just gonna have a
crit.
bunch
What
of
is
fucking rocks in
precision?
my pocket. Where'd that little girl go? Uh-oh.
Okay, so precision has a chance to trigger critical and affinity.
Paddle bass. I'm already battle pass level 15. Wow.
What the? Cheater.
Cheater.
Oh! Am I supposed to fight you guys? Hello. Oh god! Oh!
What the? You have 4 likes on your profile.
I do?
Yeah.
For why?
Press G and go look at my profile. I don't know how to view my own.
You have 5 likes as well.
So I have 5.
Oh wow.
Now you have 6.
Oh, Healer Scholar likes. That tells you where all your likes are from. How do I have 5 from Healer Scholar?
Oh, it's probably me, because I liked
Damn.
your healing. I don't know how I have 5.
What's your bet? I think I
Hee.
can
Eeh.
No.
Where are you?
I have 4.
Are you dead?
Co-op likes.
Oh.
Profile likes. Performance
Cool.
likes.
Oh! Cute. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Look at them! They're so cool looking.
Am I just stealing people's shit?
I don't think there's thievery in this.
Well, you can steal someone's
There-
horse, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is. You can
Oh.
steal with that celestial thing. You cannot take items in online mode.
Where am I? Where am I? Where am
I'm a frog.
I? Whoa. Whoa, that does not look right in co-op. You like stuttered bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. Like,
God, this horseman talks like a fucking New Yorker.
Yeah, I stole this horse and then fought him.
Okay, I'm gonna
Oh,
go
Raid in
to that.
progress?
I'm gonna go to that. Yes, the Pardon Parade.
Pardon parade? What is that?
It's like a shaming parade.
Oh, what is this? What is happening here? Start cultivation. Go inside the big circle. Oh, you left.
I can come back. Actually, I don't know how to get back.
I do think that.
What is?
Oh, if you need to find a certain thing, you can just click the track target.
That was cool.
This is the dog that I killed. Yulin dog. I wanna fight. I wanna fight. Delete.
Oh, I'm out of stamina, I see. I fucking pressed E though! Bastard.
I'm not in the open world. I don't know what is happening here. Oh, here we go. Cultivating and Blessed Land and Co-op will continuously grant blessing points. Cultivating in the desert.
Did I die?
Each day to earn 50 blessing points every 5 seconds.
What the hell?
Using the designated blessing action will increase your acquisition by 20%. Participating in a group will further it up to maximum increase. When you reach 3,000 points, you can claim a co-op reward. This is like 100% like just a AFK.
Yeah, the bug.
Get some points.
How do
Oh, had a bug in his
Oh. Oh. Ew. I see, I see. Okay, how do I...
Join you in a minute here. Almost done with these points. So it just says if you reach 3,000 points in a day, you get points. But is that...
Ooh, hell yeah. Intimacy? Damn. I can choose one of you to go get. How
There's
many
gonna be
people can you
harems.
No.
There's gonna be a harem update.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
No.
That's crazy. Actually, you can finally get your fucking harem. Crazy.
Where's the co-op shop?
That's cool. Okay. Okay, where you at?
Yeah, my bitch is so fucking pale
I'm
compared to
at
everybody
the
else here.
Wraith Village, and I need to pee though. One second.
Oh my god, my computer's lagging so bad.
Yeah, the prices are nuts. Fuck you.
Motherfuckers making the final game for Valorant Eaters. Hey! Hey! Is Mashy sleeping?
It's just returned to the bathroom, I think.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. My computer's about to fucking crash. My shit's about to crash.
It's going well, I see.
It's so bad.
Hello.
Hello?
I think you're at the right
These
place.
freeze frames are.
This isn't the
horrible.
right
This
place, but I
man
want to
is-
see what it is.
Old Jin is ugly.
I didn't
Can't
His
fast-
nose is the size of Texas.
I'm
I
the
haven't-
leader, so
I
feel
didn't
like you.
fast travel.
Leave
Hello
the guy
there.
alone.
Oh my god.
Can you fast travel like that?
It's lagging a lot.
Okay.
Probably 'cause
I
you're-
might
do
have
wanna
to turn
run
off
over
my
there, though, 'cause
model.
There's a travel point there.
Because I don't think my computer can handle my model, and this game. That
Red shell
cutscene was
icon
too much for
indicates
it.
a damage targeting mark. Wander with this mark will generate significantly. I can read that. Team leader can press on portrait to reassign the damage taker.
Please let me leave. Let me tab out of the game. I'm begging you.
God bless.
Apparently, I'm a healer.
You're a healer, but I'm a healer.
It says I'm a healer. Is healer cannot be assigned as damage taker. Oh, I wonder if I need to be.
Oh god.
Let me do this.
Please.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Menacingly.
Oh my god. Mashi, I'm sorry. I have to kill Warudo.
Okay, that's fine.
It's that fucking cutscene. I really thought it was gonna be all over for me.
Okay, we're killing Warudo. Hold on, honey. Don't.
Oh, there we go. Oh, my
So, do you
computer's
have
like,
all of your fan
God,
abilities unlocked?
thank you for taking the hands off my throat. Jesus. Okay. Where's Pumpkin?
What, honey?
PNG?
Do you have all of your fan
I-
abilities?
I have. Yeah.
Your tilde and your R.
Yeah.
Good night, Mama. I love
So
you.
your tilde key will put a heal on both of us. Like it puts a heal over time. I think I have to be by you. Like, try it right now.
I'm aware.
I
know. I'm practicing for when I live in
Must not
Wisconsin.
hesitate.
Oh, that's
It's
okay. That
fine.
got me from a range. Yeah, so that puts a heal over time on me. So you're healer. I'm. Damn.
The heater's gonna do everything that I need.
We have 5 revives we can do.
You just put a
Ready?
heater right here.
I'm ready.
Okay, you do it. There's one right there. Yeah, but I don't have any like outlets available in here. So let's put it in there then. Yeah. He did. He did. So like I'm fine. I bought slippers. I got big fuzzy claw slippers now.
Healer must protect oneself.
Why can't I have that? You plug it in and you turn it on. It's a touch screen, so you have to download it. There you go. There you go.
I thought that's
But
too
it's
way
for like
more damage.
65, I guess. Yeah, if you typically move it, it turns off. Yeah, you gotta rub its clit.
Whoa!
Broke it, man. It's because the floor isn't flat. Readjust it.
Yo, I can ride a fucking goose. I can ride a pack
Yeah.
of bees.
You broke my thing already. Good job.
That's
Did you unplug it?
Okay, get him on that tornado.
Must protect oneself.
Shade, what did you-
Get him off that tornado. Oh, I can only use it a certain amount of time? My tilde?
Damn, how many resources do you have?
Oh, no, it's back.
Oh, you have to build it up with your arm.
Instructions.
Healing must not hesitate.
Oh, there's a dancing horse.
Oh.
Why are you turning it down? Yeah, do it to 65.
I can't
What
move.
was it at? Oh, from here it looks like it's like 54. That's the current temp. The current temp is only 54. That's not that bad. Not that cold. I mean, it's 32 outside, so like that's honestly not that bad. Oh, it's 31.
Healer must protect oneself.
I mean, it'll help the house.
The healing's pretty good though, right?
Yeah, it's kind of broken.
I don't unplug my computer. Not really. It's fine. I'm
Oh
fine.
shit. Get off of the tornado!
Healing
I climbed.
must not hesitate.
Tornado.
I wanna stun him.
I'm gonna go talk to that guy over there. Hey there, sweet cheeks. What's your name? I like your fur coat.
Oh, I haven't been using this. Ouch.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
The heater's it's like I can smell it working. Actually, forever was talking about this. The husky mount is literally one or more huskies that drag you around at higher speed. Instead of a husky.
Dude, I parried that first hit.
Healer
So...
You
must
pick a
protect
weapon.
oneself.
Why am I fighting him?
Wait, did he heal himself?
Just doing no damage.
Yeah, cause this is like a 5-person thing.
Oh.
Maybe we should make food that makes us do more damage. I can't move!
When I eat the, when I drink the bone hurting juice, but it affects the instead.
Get ready.
Healing must not hesitate.
Hell yeah, get wrecked, bitch. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Big deal.
Get wrecked, bitch.
Healer must protect oneself. Boundless as a plume.
I'll never give up.
Kill him!
Oh, I missed!
God, he's hard to parry.
Hell yeah.
Healing must not hesitate. We glow with kindness.
Yay, bitch, kill him. Throw some dirt in his eyes. Pocket sand! What? What's with the sick? What's with the evil bug getting in everybody's eyes and ears? Nasty ass fucking earwigs. Get out of here!
Man, this is a Wendy's.
Ma'am! Do you want to go to Wendy's? Anything is so funny.
Must not
I can fight everyone! I'll fight everyone. I'll fight everyone.
Nah, I'd win. Nah, I'd win.
Congratulations, Karen.
Good job, Taryn. Glad for you. Glad you made it home safely.
Wait, hold on. Don't fucking worry about it.
Okay, I'm backing up.
Backing up. You're good. You're good.
Well, you backed up.
You talk a lot for a drunk man.
Who, me?
I was talking to a guy in the video game, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got him!
Why can't we? Yeah, but we can't do any like counter. We just use this time to
Yeah.
beat him up.
What are you laughing at?
Shade being an ass.
She said this drunk man talks too much. Then she says, I wouldn't know what that's like.
Good one.
Hey, don't forget about your martial skills.
I've been trying to use them. The dead touch or whatever the fuck it is does not do anything to him.
Yeah, this one is on fire. That's pretty
God, this takes so long. Why can't I counter him? Or parry him? It's so dumb.
Bitch.
Oh, he's looking at me. Oh, he's looking at me.
Okay.
Are you winning?
I'm fighting everyone. A lot of people to fight, but I'm getting XP.
You don't. Oh yeah, that's yeah. You don't like need to fight all of them. You can come back later, but do you.
This guy's ugly. Old Jin, ugly.
Bruh,
Yeah, he's
not everyone
ugly.
can be hot. Kinda.
Yeah, but he could just be normal looking. Like this man behind me, I'm not gonna say he's obviously like grandly attractive, but this man, on a rating, on a scale, below 0.
Below 0. What's a man with his life?
Tai Chi is
That's weird, I
useless.
parried, but still took damage.
It's okay to be ugly.
I'm ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud.
That one, I don't know.
Heal. Must not
I didn't mean to talk to old Jin.
healer must protect oneself.
Oh wow, you're streaming really good.
Not that bad. At
Mine or
he got
No, pumpkin.
also the worst she can say is no. Bro got rated below 0.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. Oh, the worst they could say is no.
Wind attack is getting
Not
stronger.
hesitate.
he's almost dead.
Heart
not even joking. I asked someone else, and they're like, I really don't.
I really don't want to do that. Oh my god.
Protect oneself.
It was worse than no. I went back to my friend and I was like, it was worse than no.
That's pretty.
This shit's expensive as balls.
I was thinking about it, I was like,
Oh my god, we have to bring that bar down again? Oh my god.
Why are these things so expensive?
He should be dead.
Is that a child?
It is.
Yes, it is a child. And he goes invisible.
I love minors.
What?
You guys not see that here? I'm just saying not that.
Yeah, you
I
are.
don't know. You said it like Trump.
Yeah, because he said that. He was at like a rally or something. And he was talking about like miners, like coal miners or whatever.
Oh.
Miners.
Oh my god.
I love minors.
I love kids, Charlie.
I
I
love
love kids.
kids.
I think I posted that in memes. It's the exact photo somebody put. I'm gonna see if I did.
Where's our treasure?
I
There
did,
it is.
yeah.
You healed for so
Earlier
much.
today. Okay.
You healed 149,000 damage.
Damn.
The treasure's right here. You don't see it?
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Damn, I just.
Wow.
All these
Oh,
people
it
are
takes-
watching me
Wait,
beat up
did you
this
get it for free?
child.
Or did you have to use energy?
I don't think. I didn't really pay attention.
I'm a tornado
I have to spend 60
leaving
energy
the
to claim.
arena. He kicked me out of the arena.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta use your martial arts as soon as he goes, like, visible again.
I'm fucking dead, kid. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Level 29.
Level 29. Let's go fight that other guy now. The puppet.
Also,
the
what?
puppeteer
No, pumpkin.
guy.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
What?
Oh, up top. Up top, exit.
I love kids, Charlie. I love
So
kids.
that boss fight functions just like the Genshin boss fight. You have to use energy to claim the rewards.
Yeah.
Pim, I really would be screaming that if I were you. God, I love Pim.
What the fuck? Bro farmed you.
Yo, I used my martial arts, you piece of garbage. Goddamn piece of shit, child. I don't want to fight these people.
Stupid, you're all stupid.
Stupid kids. Fucking hate them.
Oh man, it's like
So
that,
farm, dude.
I should try to find that. There's a clip of Gideon from
Wait.
Legends of Avantris, like
Okay,
yelling
then
at a kid.
now where? Now where do we go?
How stray cats, black cats, white cats are nothing compared to meow.
I thought it was, like,
meow.
at
Meow,
the
meow is no ordinary cat.
beginning.
Sagat's clothes, a scar on his face, it's a fierce temper.
Forging of Years?
Appears treasures far beyond.
I think that was it.
I followed Merchant to Anubis. Are you cold? But go sit in front of the heater. It's over there.
So he's gonna be.
Can you see me ping?
I don't know. Teleporting right now.
Can you see that?
No, it's too far down.
Is it?
It's a super easy boss. Okay.
I'm coming to you.
What's my goal here? What do I do? Why am I going backwards? Can you fucking spin around? Can you fucking spin around? What are you looking at? Oh my god. Why are you jumping around like a frog?
Jumping around at the speed of sound. Oh, I hate that guy.
Got places to go.
Gotta follow my rainbow.
I'm gonna have to learn how to
Wait,
fucking
he's
hop
gone.
like a frog.
No, really? Oh, maybe it's only in co-op mode, not multiplayer mode.
Oh, okay. I thought I missed that. Well, you did, but he arted more martially than you. You know what? I don't need. I don't. You know what?
He
The
arted
end
more
is, increased
martially.
to level 8 in 10 days.
Huh?
So
If
the
somebody
online
fucking came
mode
at me jumping like
levels
a
up over
fucking
time.
frog, I'd give up. I'd soil
Oh.
myself and lie on the ground.
What does that mean?
So
It's
like
him
in
the
10
Flesh,
days,
the big
the
bad guy
online mode
from
is
Kung
going to
Fu
level
Hustle.
up to 9.
Oh,
So it's gonna
is
be
this the
harder?
reference?
I think so. So I think as the game, because like when online level increases, new multiplayer campaign will be
Oh,
unlocked. So I think it's like as they
no.
unlock new stuff, they increase the max
Oh,
online
that
mode
sucks.
level.
So I have to put it here.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm gonna enter solo mode, and then I'll invite you.
Aww.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, she's making fun of me.
I'm a frog! Ribbit!
You get that ability, by the way, later on.
I got it.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah. I just had to look at a frog. What are you? What are you? Fantuan! Fantuan! Who stuck down the well, Fantuan?
There he is. There's that big guy.
Okay, obviously.
I'm ready. Ready to fuck him up. He probably levels up with us.
Probably,
Yeah.
We have more weapons and stuff.
They. One of our friend I don't use it because it's so much.
Heart like morning dew.
Yeah, he's level 29 now.
I've collected so many things. How? This looks like I'm supposed to. Oh!
Yes.
Healer must not
I did it! I'm so. Uh-oh. This is scary.
must save
Hello.
all souls.
Yeah. Can I just climb up the wall? Nope. Apparently not. Ooh. A purple!
I hit it.
Yeah, the draws are really bad in this game.
How do you draw?
There's a gotcha machine.
Oh, where?
Get in my bubble.
Must save all souls.
$20. $20.
Why did you keep attacking?
$10. Let's do it.
Healer must not
You can use R to spam to get your dues back, so you can hit me with your kill.
Healer must not hesitate.
This next mode, you can spam R and tilde, because R doesn't attack. I thought it did. Maybe it doesn't. I'm gonna try to change my outfit. They're both on me. How's my bleed getting?
Healer must not hesitate. Heart like morning dew.
You also should have 2 potions.
Healer must save all souls.
I can't change levels in combat.
Where is it?
Healer must not hesitate.
What does R do?
You just do a bunch of these.
I didn't even know I could do that. I didn't even know I could do that. Oh my
I
god.
didn't know it healed me. I thought it just healed you.
Healer
Did I really heal?
must not hesitate.
Okay, so you have to do a lot of the damage then.
Yeah, that's fine. I just need the healing.
A healer must not
Oh
hesitate.
my god, where are it?
What the?
Hear that? Oh no.
I tried.
Must save all souls.
Just have some generic pictures right now.
God.
This is upsetting me. Nope, let's not do that.
What is inner way? I wish you could revive me. That's dumb that you can't.
I can't without a heal skill.
Oh, so you can?
Where is...
I'm sorry I died.
What happened on my die? Did I fuck up? Probably.
I have so many fucking pictures and none of them are what I need. Did I really not just have? That's so annoying.
Fuck him up, fuck
Okay.
him up, fuck him up. Fuck him up, fuck him up, fuck him up.
Here.
Do I still get rewards even though I died?
Okay, hold up. I need to do something. Quick. Real quick.
Oh, you're pretty good at parrying him. I thought you said you couldn't parry that red attack.
Red, gold, you can't parry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Sekiro.
Oh,
I need to
God.
get back into Sekiro. I never beat it.
It's really hard, so I don't know.
It is really hard.
It's the one Souls game I haven't beat.
I want a potato from the stew. I'd like to just munch on the potatoes out of the pot.
Got him.
Okay.
What? Is that weird?
You do
He
Yeah.
almost killed me. He was doing his whirlwind attack. That would kill me. Okay, it wasn't-
Hey,
it
thank
was
you
no
for
different than
subscribing. You are
before.
up
You
to
just have more.
Thank you. Oh, he was the real puppet. 10 years have passed as if within a dream. One's no longer televised. Unfolds old tales of the world. Through curtains. Yeah, me too. I wish I didn't work tomorrow.
Why?
Cause I want to stay up and play video games.
Feel that. To bed at fucking 4 a.m. last night.
Yeah, you fucking crazy ass.
It's
Woke
fucking
up and
wild.
you were still in chat. Oh my god.
Yeah. Playing League.
Oh, I can break through again.
That reminds me to claim my my chromas.
I spent so much yesterday. Oh my god, where did I save this picture to?
I'll wait to go to
Where's my
level 4.
marbles?
These are all level 32, so I can't use them anyway, so that's cool.
Well, now that you know you can spam heal me. It heals you too. Okay. No, it doesn't. But if I'm not in range of you, it'll heal you. Wait.
Oh, now I'm.
Okay. Holy crap, that's far. Dang, okay.
Were these all the dailies?
Okay,
what
there
are
we go.
what are our dailies?
Okay, there we go. It is time, though, my friends. Yours truly will change into its silk pajamas and have a good night's rest at 4
Silk
a.m. Yes, 4 a.m.
pajamas.
Oh my god! Go to sleep. Good night,
night.
mooncakes. Hope you're having a giga cool night, and I'll catch y'all some other time. Good night, fearsome. Sleep
Good
well.
Sleep tight.
Hi, baby boy. What's up? Do you need to go potty? What do you need from me? Why are you being needy? Do you need to go potty? Is it break time? It can be break time.
I'm gonna go fast travel to this oddity thing.
Big. Oh. I'm stretching! Okay, I'm gonna take a break.
Okay.
Okay. You go potty, Anubis? You go potty?
Co-op restricted? Fuck. Well, what can we do?
Forgotten outfit that you get probably for going to jail.
We could do blind to the world, dive into the lake to uncover its secrets. We can do mysterious colossus. That's a campaign quest. We could do...
Okay, so that one we can do. So there's some stuff we can do.
Yeah, it tells us if you press J which ones are co-op mode. You want to do the blind to the world?
So I did that one. I don't know if I can do it again. We would have to go into your game, I think.
Okay. Should I leave and come and invite you?
Or we could do the other one.
Okay, let's do the Colossus one.
Rise in the distance? No, that's not the right one, is it? Colossus. Where is
Mysterious Colossus. Progress sinks when the host starts the stage.
Oh.
that? I don't have that. Oh, enable.
Where is it?
I have 1,400 tickets.
1400. How do you see?
It's in the co-op mode.
I have...
So wandering paths, casual co-op, and then your tickets are there.
$1,200.
Excuse me.
I just need...
It's gonna be a while to get that armor and hair. It's gonna be a long while.
Yeah.
What?
Excuse me. Thank you.
What is this? sprint and sweat.
I want to unlock all the regions. Like, just get to the fires and.
Yeah, let's try this. See what this
Okay.
is.
Heart of the healer. The world suffers from long untreated illness. The village after town all fall sick. Whether this stems from natural the bat.
Gives you no time to read it.
I look different.
Very bright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's
Oh,
one
you got, like, a
free
little-
prescription when using a prescription for the first time during
So
a round.
fiery heart is the amount of moves you get. Prescription is your moves you get to use.
Fiery
They're
heart
like your
carries over to the
cards.
next round after the round ends.
That one's tough though, because usually you use fire heart. I'm gonna go the other one. Well, I thought we were voting on one. Which one did we get, or did we get our
Oh
own?
my god, I just waterboarded
I
myself.
don't know.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
we gotta go 4 times.
God damn.
So do we?
That- The Zycam, do you guys know what that is?
What are we
You
supposed to
put up your
do?
nose,
Yeah.
It's
I
cold.
think we have to find
Got the
medical
spray
vouchers.
stuff, and I just, oh my god, that fucker, like, fucking power washed
Are we
my
supposed to
nose.
heal that one guy?
Oh, I see. Press V.
Oh,
Target
it's
a
going
guy,
down my
and then
throat.
you can go into a heal
Oh,
mode.
man.
You have to find a person. I'm doing the first one that we were just at.
I don't know. I don't see anyone else.
Go lay down. You're freaking me
Recommended
out.
Mastery 0 of 1,000. Required mastery 0, 0. Okay, can do this.
Uh-oh, am I about to
Just
fight
keep running
somebody?
around and try to find guys in the village. Oh,
What?
I guess you're just watching me.
Oh, I'm playing too.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
This show signs of Doctor's vital energy. Vital energy runs out. Healing fails. Its affliction shows severity. Okay.
No.
Itching.
What's this?
External injury.
Yeah, okay, I was right. I just...
so you are timed on these too, so.
Oh, that's scary. I don't like that.
Wait, are we both attacking the same one?
I guess so.
I think we are.
Channeling therapy.
Oh, I
okay.
see. We are. We're co-op healing the guy.
Oh, man.
Kitty!
Get fucking wrecked.
Reducing its defense. And I'm gonna hit it with a
Consumes
big hit.
4% of current vital energy and grants 1 fiery heart. Cause
So, yeah, so
0.
that hurts you for 4% and gives you one more turn, one more thing. Your fiery
Breath
heart is
control.
your-
Hell yeah.
We do have 2 minutes left, so you do gotta
Ooh.
kind of be a little quick.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, Meow Meow is so cute.
How do I?
Oh man, you got a shield again.
Ah, Velk Dom! Hello, welcome! Welcome, welcome! Thank you for the raid!
How do I?
Hello! How are you? What are you playing?
How do I equip a new weapon?
We're
Go to
trying to
your-
heal this guy. This is my first time playing this mini game. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Damn. I don't understand.
I just-
Welcome, waders. I can't figure out.
I was fighting the new campaign boss. Oh, I don't think I've got that far yet. Have we fought the campaign boss? No, probably not. We're just doing random
Hello.
quests.
Thank you for the follow.
Oh,
I got the side cam
skip.
spell come. The fucking oh my god.
Those
Brand-
are
Burning my
disappearances
throat.
of the weapon.
Oh my gosh, you subscribed! Thank you so
Resistance shield.
much. That's so kind.
one?
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you're just looking at the appearances.
Which one? You
of
want that
the
one?
one.
Okay.
Damn,
I think you
how do
pick your
I-
own.
How do I?
There's a way to.
Oh wait, I can investigate this flower.
Oh, so you go to
Use your vision.
egg and then gear.
Thank you so much for the subscribe, Volko.
That's so
What the heck?
nice.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I
You can
appreciate
investigate
you.
stuff around the village.
Did you have a good?
Stream.
Did you have a good stream? What were you doing?
I think they were also
were
playing Where Winds Meet.
Oh, do you like it? Oh, H. You probably said that and I couldn't hear you and I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't own the thing? Why does it say I own it though?
Oh, he's got 300 points for.
Yeah, Sierra
understand.
says each treatment difficulty reduced by 10%. Nice.
Oh, I own the base. Okay.
I have
okay, I
accidentally
understand.
put
Why is
in
it skipping the
250
second
hours. Oh my gosh.
Is that the one I just picked up?
I'm not sure.
Gain 1 emergency prescription. Upon use, gain 5 fiery.
That's a lot of hours. I don't have that. I don't have quite that many hours yet.
Why would I?
Oh, hell yeah.
There's guys over here to fight. I am a healer slash kind of DPS, mostly healing.
That's the one I was fighting earlier.
Ah, I can't move.
Ooh, thank you. Okay. They do it. They do it. They do it. They do it. Just look at me, shook it. Nope. Okay.
If you have any tips, feel free to let me know.
Oh! Oh my god, what are you looking at? What is going? Oh my god, I'm too close. Oh my god.
Do we have to beat these guys within the 1 minute 40 seconds? Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Healing must not hesitate.
Did you die?
Beat him up! Gang up on
Guys,
him!
this is the worst thing ever.
I
fucking-
run all
that
but
Zyklon
mostly
is in my
DPS
throat.
because
I'm
I
about to
run
fucking die.
legend difficulty. But I don't know what tips to give, to be honest. I mostly play on. I see. This villager is the last patient and the worst off. If we can cure him, we might be able to. Okay.
Yes, you have to go into your thing, your V, look at him, and then F to heal. But then I like Spider-Man. He has leprosy.
He has leprosy. He looks pretty good for having leprosy.
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 So many things I gotta claim. Oh no.
Uh-oh, that's a shield.
That was my first turn, by the way.
Was that?
Yeah,
Wow.
I got so many points in my first turn.
We got 5 points. So we'd like this.
I just put so many
I like
pickled
this
items
one.
in
This
the
mini game is chill, calming.
I
Actually
do like
can,
this one
think about
too.
what to do.
Uh-huh.
Gift of Gab is ridiculous.
Gift of Gab sucks.
Oh, reduces defense.
Uh-oh.
Did it just heal?
Yes, it did.
I'll hit him with everything. He's got a lot of reduced health for defense.
What?
You're very hurt too.
I am very hurt.
Anything else in here?
This reduces defense again.
54 shield?
What? It doesn't have shield. Oh, it does for you. For me, it doesn't. Oh, I am very hurt. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, it
He's-
has.
Okay.
The healer suffers significant backlash upon healing. Yikes. Leprosy hurt.
What did you say?
Leprosy hurt.
It hurt.
Leprosy?
Leprosy. This guy has leprosy.
He does have leprosy. Okay.
Yes,
So
he
that's
does.
That's not what they said. That's not.
Why
I
does
run,
he
but
keep
mostly
healing? Are we
DPS
doing
because I
something wrong?
run Legend.
I have
of
no
Mythic.
idea.
How long has this game been out?
What, wins?
How long has it been out?
I
Probably.
mean, their website was made 2 months ago.
Hot dog. How do I pick up barrel? How I move
I have
barrel?
all shields.
How I
I have 900
how
shield.
how I move
Oh
barrel?
my, I don't get it. What are we?
Oh, I see. I probably have to push it up. Okay, about a month NA release. Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do we have to like start this all over again if we lose?
Oh, come on.
Hit them with the big stuff.
I don't have anything to use.
Someone in the world chat is named Ivana Hump.
Classic.
Classic.
Like,
How
what
do
is he
I-
healing from? I don't get it. They're just randomly
Ah,
healing
I just
after
pick
my
it up.
turn.
Okay, and then put down.
You
Put
have to like combo
the barrel down.
heal. Restore and reflect. Restores severity but inflicts backlash.
Oh, I think I lost. I died. Select.
He's just gonna heal all of his health back.
Oh no!
Literally,
I'm gonna
he
die.
keeps
I'm
healing
gonna die.
back to 3,500. There's nothing we can do.
Climb!
Are you good?
I'm 2 seconds from dying.
Okay, I lied. This is stupid. And we had a 20% reduced difficulty.
Please get up.
We still get
I'm
stuff,
stuck.
but
I literally am stuck.
Yeah, but it would have been
Oh,
nice
thank
to
God.
beat
Okay.
it.
Beat it, beat it.
I mean, we could try again because we level up when we do that too. We level up our.
Are we using like any sort of energy to do it?
Is that a
Probably.
fucking lap? What a fucking line.
Come taste. Tears during the drunken
If you want to try that again, then.
Yeah, we can. I'm just
Oh my God, it sucks.
looking at some stuff.
Meow meow.
Ugh.
Oh wow, that actually worked.
How many in your party?
Oh, I fucked
Honored.
up. Oh fuck.
Oh. So that boss we killed, we unlock talents
That hurt me.
Mmm.
Whatever.
specifically for that boss. So because I deflected one of his attacks, I was able to unlock a talent for that boss fight.
Where do you see that?
It's under your talents.
What's the
Press H
hotkey?
and then go to talents.
H.
Push. Push.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't have any.
Push.
Oh my god, I can go fishing. Peak. This is peak.
I don't have any
No,
talents.
This is where
Talent
meats win.
points.
No, this is peak. This is peak as fuck.
No, this is where meats
Where-
win.
where
You're
are
not
our
playing
skills
FIFA.
at?
Where meets wins.
Wind meets where. Meets wind.
Develop? No, not develop.
I don't know what I'm playing.
Meat wins.
I love the smell of
Meaty
meat on the wind.
winds.
It's just bacon. Delicious.
How do I use my quickie stuff?
How do I equip the quickie?
So you want to go to your bag, and then you want to go to
I
the
have it
first
equipped.
the
I just
sword.
need to-
Okay, and then
Either way,
press
Oh.
what is it? Hold on. Why can't I press Alt and right
That's cool.
or left mouse button?
There's something off about this place. I'm literally in a hole in the ground, and there's a whole fucking, like... What are you... Oh my god.
I'm trying to find where we find. Oh, profession. There it is.
Oh my god, fishing is so hard in this game.
Not really.
Oh, we have to. we
Well,
have
you need to make sure you
not
have the
really.
right bait.
I got a
Looks
bunch
like
of
we can do
bait.
this in co-op. Where are you at? Can you teleport me?
Cool. I could also just
I don't
Push
see
two.
you on the map.
hit the water and get a bunch of
I'm
fish.
up.
Did co-op
the
mode
slow
end for
waters.
us? Are we still?
Hell yeah, I'm so good at this game.
Oh, maybe. Here.
Oh. Oh god, hello. Oh F.
Oh, there's a kitty cat.
Yeah, pet the kitty cats. They give you rewards. Jadefish is like a currency.
Because they'll give you worms.
Rewards. Pet the
Oh,
cats,
fuck.
I'll give you rewards. Oh my god.
Oh, you were ATT.
What? What are we doing?
Central line. Equinox.
Oh yes, hide behind the explosive barrel.
Wait.
I heard fishing was hard. The first thing with minigames is the higher your like exploration mastery and exploration stats are, the easier all the minigames get. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at first that shit was pretty hard. Compared to like fishing in other games.
Where you just click a button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That looks like that.
You're T-posing.
Where's the button?
Why did I? Whatever. Okay, game. Sure. Can't jump, can't move, can't dash, can't do nothing.
Oh,
And you're just T-posing around.
that was easy.
I'm sorry.
Damn, you were a very easy boss fight. Okay.
I don't know how to get back up.
No way it put me way back here.
I don't know how to get. I think I'm stuck.
Step bro, I'm stuck.
You do have a triple jump.
Do I?
Guess this you said was doing-
I'm not. I'm only jumping once.
Oh, so we had triple jump, but then right as we jumped into the pit, it removed it. That's dumb.
Fuck back. I put that. I do not put these slots.
Yeah, 'cause, like I can double jump and dash on the stairs here. So the moment we enter that area, are we able to use the rope? We can.
What?
We can block the tightrope.
Belkdom will requested to be your friend.
Oh.
Oh!
So I should bow? How I bow?
You go to the place where it says bow, and then just.
You
push
have
the-
to physically touch with your body.
Ah, I see. There
Yeah.
it is. 1, 2. Yeah, you have to do it 3 times. Did you not read the thing?
Yeah, 3 times.
Here we go. No, she decided to speak before I was done.
I think I'm stuck down here.
Crazy. Much magical shit.
Just kidding, I'm not stuck
I
down
swear, There's a
here.
thing on the back of you, though. I'd like to.
Where did you
I
go?
get it. How I get it.
You're above me.
How I.
So we can use the. Is it like a tightrope?
Are you kidding me? I'm just stuck here?
It's like gazing at each other for over 100 years.
Okay, I'm good.
Oh.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. They're like tight ropes. Okay.
Down here.
Huh?
Oh, I was just down here. And you can't jump from up there because you just lose all mobility if you fall in the pit. So to walk back down the way you got here.
Hi,
Okay.
meow meow.
She's
You're so
really cute.
cute.
Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh, I didn't die. I just am very far down.
Oh, you
How do
didn't
I
die?
get to
I died when I
that?
landed in the water.
Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. No, you're kidding. You're
Hi.
kidding. Oh! I'm stuck.
There's an unstuck button. Where is it again, honey?
Escape settings.
Pumpkin is just super awkward parkour.
Did you see? Did you see what happened? You're kidding me. Please don't tell me I have to do that all over again. Okay, I don't. There's a thingy on the back of his neck, and I'm trying to get it.
A bug?
Yeah, a bug. Oh, the statue. There's a thingy up there.
Cannot
and I
enter
want
the
it.
narrow gap. What, are my tits too big or something? Okay.
Yes. See, how do I get to it?
Can you just look up at it?
I can't reach it. It's on the back of the statue's neck. I'm gonna fucking shoot it. Did nothing.
Dissandra.
You have to awkwardly parkour. It took me a solid 2 minutes to get it. Okay, well if it took you 2 minutes to get it, it's gonna take me 5 hours to get it, so. How do you mean? I'm gonna just catch this whole tree on fire.
The stone. Teleport's on the stone. Grab your embers.
Cannot.
These torches do not exist.
Wow.
They do not
Wow.
exist.
Great game.
I used the right side of the cave.
Oh, I'm on fire. Okay, I'm not on fire. Co-op
Yeah.
restrictions? Oh, only co-op can.
Right side of the cave? Oh god.
You can jump down.
Yeah.
I can't get it.
But you're not meant to do that there.
Well, you couldn't open the door?
No.
Up!
I'm also struggling to get up.
God,
Honey, how the hell did you get? Okay. It's fine, I figured it out.
The flowy cape. Yeah, I see this, but how?
I can't get through here. It's not letting me
You're not
back
supposed
through
to
the
use
gap.
Use the little thing that's next to you.
Am I just fucking soft lock right now?
Three
Three
chests.
chests at the bottom of the
What
lake.
if I...
Okay.
I don't know, my vision's not picking it up.
Mine is. How do we dive again? Oh, Alt.
Oh,
I hate swimming. Or diving. Scares me. There's fucking alligators.
Alligator.
I'm stuck. I'm fine.
Hey, look at that! I did it. I'm a fucking genius.
Did you get anything decent?
Oh,
Oh!
it was a little pen thing.
Okay.
Or whatever. There's crocs down there. Oh my god, crocs? Did I do everything?
how did you get back up from down here?
What is this way, guys? Is that to the exit? I don't know.
Oh, right there.
Not gonna lie, that was actually a lot more big brain than how I got it brute force. Well, that's what I thought
I'm
originally, but I
gonna crash out.
Oh no.
I fell
didn't.
again. Thanks. Where the fuck is the...
You can't crash out as bad as me at work yesterday.
What happened?
I just yelled.
A
Really
who?
loud.
So go. Yep.
His coworker.
Oh, falling. You don't
It was just bad because maybe the whole store could hear it.
See-
But
Oh my god, dude. I spawn in, this goose is immediately on my fucking ass.
get that goose.
Yeah,
Get the
geese are
goose.
wild in this game.
They're the gods. They're the gods of the game.
Salvaggio.
The goose gods.
Like, I spawned in and it was immediately just right there. Please, get the fuck away from me, Goose. Get the fuck away from me.
Get him, goose. Get him.
Wait, come back a little bit. Can I?
Freaking just stealing everybody's shit out of their house. I'm the thief.
Yeah. Come walk on the one in front of me.
Oh my god.
Stay right there. Face me.
Face
Yeah,
me.
right there. Do I pause when I do this?
Where am I?
don't.
Fun fact, in your settings you can change your power level to be measured in goose.
Bow.
That's pretty
That's
funny.
really funny.
Where's your head?
I got a notice, but I don't see it.
Volume 2, Echoes in the Shrine completed. Oh my god, the fucking creepy frogman is just bouncing in the background.
What are you trying to do?
I'll take a picture.
Hey, look at that. I'm
This
so
is
good at
not
this.
Chasing me.
I have
Really?
0% on the campaign, but I have Jianghu Legacy 12%. Let's go. Who needs main objectives when I only do side quests?
Level 16.
Okay, now you can.
Oh man, the man in black.
I think we got everything.
Interesting. The shop. Oh my god, that one's hello desert whale. Oh boy.
I was putting down a sign.
Ooh.
See, there's already a bunch. I'm not seeing those.
Ooh. I could
Why am I
give
not
her a
seeing all those
little
signs?
talisman over the eyeball.
Oh,
I can't see the one you just put down. Oh, beehive.
no, stay.
Oh, beehive.
I can grab it from here.
You can.
Is that real money?
Just grabbed
Yeah, I
it.
wanted to grab it.
But you still get it.
Sale. Look at that horse!
I can
Holy
grab things
shit.
from the range.
I don't want to
Sorry.
What other? That's okay. It's fucking this hair makes them look like
Yeah, I don't know.
fucking
I don't know why I
Alucard.
can't see the ones.
God
you see
damn.
and you can't see
You
mine.
look really silly right now.
This one's really pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's so pretty. I want to draw this one. Give it to me. You know you love me.
Look at his
Give it to
slide.
me. Give it to me. Frogman gives you frog skills. If you yeah, I got frog skills. But what did I get?
He's just fuming up the
nothing.
stairs. Look at him.
How do I got no
Okay,
draws?
why do we always play broken games?
It's you have jaws for a certain.
Wee.
Oh, what do I have draws
How do
for?
we get out of here?
They should tell you.
It don't. You're
Um,
lying.
No, it
What the
do.
up?
It don't.
My,
I
no,
got
mine.
draws for
Okay.
nothing.
Did you already use them?
I don't know. I
We
haven't
came
done
in from-
anything.
Did we?
Did we not? I swear we fell down.
I have
from
no
here.
pearls.
Well, your
Well,
stream is
there's a
also
teleport
not exactly.
stone
Tell
down.
you which.
We're just gonna teleport out.
Ooh, that's
can't do anything
cool.
down there.
Jesus Christ, this poor man's
I
getting
want
his
to get to
fucking
this
head-
teleport stone.
God damn.
We can't.
Why?
It's locked behind that door. We can't open.
Ooh, pretty little
Hey.
Wait,
claws.
is it this?
That's funny. Oh, that's so cute. The magpie.
Just gonna teleport up.
That's
Are
one of
you
my
looking
favorite
at the
songs
battle
from-
pass?
Oh, it's not. That's funny. I thought.
What? Did you just teleport out?
Yeah, I teleported out. I want to run to one thing and then
Oh, there's things to
I'm
claim.
gonna go put the food away.
Oh no, not one of these games where I claim a million things. Oh lord.
Must claim the red dot.
God
a
damn, there's
lot
so
of
many red
things.
dots. There's so many dots.
Get rid of the evil red dot.
Ooh, I
I'm
like
running in
this
slow
one.
motion.
How do
Yeah,
I
you
do
always run
this?
slow because that guy talks to you every time.
your
man.
party, honored
I don't know.
guests.
Oh my goodness.
I'll run slow so we can catch up.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Humble Hero set is fucking hilarious. What the fuck is that? Did you see this? This man's wearing like underwear with a bucket on his head.
Yeah, that's like
It's like the pothead from Souls.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. That's really funny.
It's also like a skin you get in Ghost of Tsushima.
Why do I have?
Ghost of
I can
Tsushima.
make. What the hell? That's really funny. Ooh. No way I can move where this thing is on me. Jesus.
Pretty tree. Pretty tree.
Pretty tree, CC.
Shit.
Little dango. Little dango. Little dango.
Oh, you're not gonna take that one though?
No.
What is. What?
What
is
is
red?
what?
What?
Plus.
What?
Plus.
Oh.
Did you just
I don't know what is red.
my sneeze?
What that? What that blue thing?
Oh, I got dye powder.
Yeah, make sure you don't fuck up like I did.
What did
I used it and didn't save my die,
Oh,
so I didn't get
so
to
you
equip it.
used it and then it's just gone?
Yeah.
I feel like you might still be able to use it if you go back into the diamond.
Oh, so
Yeah,
if
it won't. It's gone. It
Right,
wouldn't
you-
let me.
Really?
I didn't save it, and can I not fuck with this fucker?
the horse ski? Yo, the fuck? The way you ride the goose is so funny.
Did you see the dogs?
I did see the dog.
You just run with them. Or they like
That's
pull
it?
you. It's really
Hey,
cute.
run, you.
That's really funny.
I don't go down there yet.
Okay.
Oh. That's pretty as fuck.
Oh gosh. Do some parkour.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a
Pizza.
goop on the goop.
Oh.
Okay. Battle pass. Oh my god, I'm gonna be here forever.
You also get the
No.
bells? Okay,
I
good.
don't know
Oh.
yet.
What? The Magpie makes you want to listen to that one song from BTS.
Okay, we ran too far in though. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. What do I do with the coin? Is it, where can I use it?
What coin?
Yeah.
Regular coin?
Like it literally looks like
The
the
jade
Chinese
coin,
coin.
the
No, the
green
Chinese
coin.
coin. Like it looks
Oh.
like it's metal.
That's used for like leveling up your gear. You can
Oh,
use some
okay.
stuff in shops and food. I should come.
I'm getting you a chest.
Come.
No, come.
Do you recognize your sin?
I'm not. I don't know if I'll play this game that much. I'll be honest with you.
No.
That's why I haven't got the battle pass.
Yeah, I don't. I'm probably. Yeah, we'll
It
see what
depends
happens.
on if it hurts me.
It seems fun. Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Did we talk to him or
Whoa!
no? Probably not.
I don't see anyone.
Oh.
Great. All those little red dots I just fixed, they're all back. Oh. That's so mashy.
Hmm.
So this is how you start the healing stuff.
Oh, cute. No. What are you doing in my swamp? Why are you telling me there's a red dot here? I'm going to explode. What's new in the shop? Horse.
What?
No horse, just run really fast.
I like that one.
It's like the Scooby-Doo
Yeah, or you know,
Flintstone.
yeah. My brain thought of the Roadrunner. And
Oh
the
yeah,
Roadrunner.
yeah. Like Looney Tunes.
Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid.
You haven't
The
seen me do the
monthly
animation,
pass.
Dweller.
Ugh.
That sure is invisible.
Yeah, my I forgot to take my
Guys are
meds this
consumables.
morning.
Oh! Pumpkin, you can
You-
move items inside of your body. That's where I keep things inside of me.
You gifted me a fleet hoof. What is this? What does the fleet hoof do?
That's to go fast.
Oh my god! That's so funny.
It's so funny. It's
I
fucking
love
silly.
it.
Damn,
Thank
hello there.
you.
Oh, I just want to look at
Where's
it.
mine?
Where's mine?
Wait, how do
What is
I equip different?
Oh, pretty little earrings. I'll wear those. Those are pretty, even though I'd really like those ones. I want those ones. How do I get these ones?
Can you see me?
2,000 I thought I had. Available at Swarmport level 2. Huh? Oh. Huh? Huh?
I'm so fucking
Hello,
fast.
Top
I'm so
Scholar.
motherfucking fast.
What's this? Oh.
I gotta get my
Hello,
steps
Top
in.
Scholar.
I don't. Oh, I
I'll be
don't
back.
wanna draw
I gotta go
from
get this fireplace.
I want to draw from this.
So fucking fast.
That's so fucking cool. Where have I seen that before? Wow, this is what fucking garbage.
All the devoted, grow the most beautiful flowers.
Intimacy into me, I see. It's a Love Guru reference.
I know you love that movie.
Ooh, pretty.
Or at least I know you love that movie.
Oh,
Can I
how did
run up
suddenly
hills?
get stuff?
No, I
didn't-
cannot run up hills with mine. Stop running!
Why are you running?
See?
I've been collecting shit for too long. Like, I just keep finding more places, and it's making me incredibly upset.
If I unlock this fire, will it unlock for you too?
What is this? I can just fucking... Okay, I'm good. I don't... yeah, it's confirmed. That's fine. I don't need to make an event space. What now? What is this? What is that? What is... Oh,
Oh, not the snakes!
Ah,
my
okay.
God. Oh god.
Thank you, Velcdom, for
Here forever.
for gifting
Draw.
us.
I've already drawn. There's nothing more to draw.
Velcdom.
Please. A draw award available? What is that?
It's
More
next to the
things to give to
drugs.
my lovers.
Yeah, the Moogle. That's cute.
What? Okay. The red dot is gone. The evil red dot is gone. Okay, we're better now. What am I even doing? Okay.
You're too far away from me. I'm not getting anything you're getting.
I'm not looting anything right now.
I've made it out. Don't worry, I think I got your silly little rock. I know it took me like forever, but I finally got it. There's also people down there. I'm really glad you didn't go down there, because I don't know what they would have done to you. Hopefully they're just bandits and not other things.
Oh, you have to come and do this. You get a healing buff. When you critically heal, you increase healing.
I want to
received on
mimic
that
her
person.
makeup. I'm sure it's really pretty.
It's physical attack.
What the heck are you?
And you can make sure you also check chat. Also, huh?
No, I ran all the way here.
Oh, I'm gonna fight this?
No. I literally ran all the way to this fire guy and I can't even talk to him. I'm so upset.
Cool.
God, why are you... They made you ugly on purpose because you're a bad guy.
Huh, where did you go?
Yeah, give it to me and my chicken.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
I don't think that's haggling. I think I just bullied this man into giving me what I wanted.
Honey, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. Where are you? You disappeared again. Oh.
Evaker left. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yay! Oh, unlock talent.
Making
I
him
can
dizzy.
hear real
Don't worry,
good.
I'm making him dizzy for you.
Plans.
The circle.
Oh, that guy's stinky. Look at the big guy right here. He's scary.
Spend items to restore durability to your gear. Oh my god, what if I don't? It's only 97 out of 100. Bruh. Ooh.
Let's take care of the range guys first.
Okay, you said check the what? Enter? Oh, what is this? Oh, it's the fleet. Thank you. Oh god, it does not like the chat feature. Like it's lagging again. Come on, get out of chat. Get out of the chat. Get out of the chat. Lord have mercy. Why would the chat do that to me? Okay.
Must not hesitate.
Oh, why are we lagging so bad? Please calm down.
Oh my god, I'm getting double teamed over here.
Okay. Do I need like... Yeah. Oh, I need to talk to Ruby. Okay, hello Ruby.
I don't know. Do you need better weapons?
We're just instantly healing.
Oh, that guy's dead.
Oh, was that guy healing him? They were healing him. Damn, man. That's crazy. I guess I was wrong in this situation. You don't do the healers first.
You do the big guy first, and then you get the little guys. Can't even cook in co-op.
Ruby, where are your parents?
I have Where Winds Me open in the background playing mahjong aggro noises. Keep thinking I'm somehow getting aggroed in a non-aggro area. Okay, we gotta go put away the beef stew.
Yeah, so
I
over
see what's
here there's
happening.
a quest to start your
Who
healing.
was
and you should do that
that?
because it gives you a buff for your healing.
Oh, I got new clothes. Oh, the lag is killing me. Ugh. Nope, we're gonna stick with that one.
Research.
Wait, why does this look so not good? Okay, I'm just kidding. Oh, that one's pretty.
That's the...
Okay, let's. Oh,
You
but I
can put
really
together
like
like
that
a
one.
little... What do you call this?
I like this one.
A
Okay.
relationship web with like the characters you meet. You can tell if they're hostile or not.
Hmm.
Or like you make the web.
Hi, Gigi. Where have you been?
Alright, what time is it?
I think we gotta go.
No.
Bedtime.
Bedtime.
Oh wait, I need to see what I start tomorrow. Actually. Oh shit.
Early?
No, I was supposed to talk to my boss about something and I forgot to. It's fine, I can probably do it tomorrow.
Inscription.
I accidentally put too much PTO in today because I came in an hour late because I had to go get Anubis's medication.
I see. Well, I'm hooked on this game. I will play more. How do I leave your world?
A toad swallowed your pouch. I would kill that frog.
No!
Yeah, it's time to go.
It ate my money?
I'm
That
sorry.
thing dies.
Extermination co-op. They
I
make it
think I
sound
just
so
reached
dramatic.
into its throat and grabbed my shit back. It's a frog. What's gonna happen?
Hell?
What the hell?
Be used to losing all your money, Pumpkin. We play the super gullible good guy. No! Makes me upset. General Shrine.
I fucking love this ability. I'm so fast. I'm way faster than if I had a regular
Before
horse.
heading home. What am I? Why am I in a running but walking? I'm running, but I'm in walking. Okay, there we go.
Holy fucking
What
Jesus.
am I doing? Who am I talking to? Oh, am I just... I'm gonna fight something else.
Select a martial art breakthrough material of your choice. Where's that? Is that
Yeah, I unlocked King
ability
Chinghe.
in our way?
And now I need to unlock. I would like to unlock. This
Oh, is she
area.
pretending? That's
Kaifeng.
funny.
Someone's being banished. How do I fucking join it? I just got the notification for it.
Oh, it's taking me all the way there? What?
All the auto travel thing?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like to unlock my areas before I explore more.
Like the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
Okay, well, I'm gonna AFK. Let me
Okay.
know if I start dying. NB! Hi, NB! You're up late or early.
Damn. Oh. Oh no! Damn, they
Okay,
got one
I'll be
on
right
me.
back.
Ah! You got one on me. Eee! That's funny. More XP. More XP. Nice. How do I... What level do I have to be to... What is that thing up at the top?
Oh, what?
Oh my god. Please. I'm in a rush. Hurry up. Oh. He's doing it blind? Oh my god.
Bruh. Fuck. Damn it.
Eh. Oh my god. Ah, god damn. Okay, old man. Okay. What are you doing? You want me to come to you, huh? You do. you not just be in that corner over there, man?
Fuck.
Okay, now I get what they are. Mashi?
She's going AFK.
Did she go AFK already? Okay, BRB.
What are you doing over there? No, come back! You bastard! Oh, you bum. That you could escape from me? Fool.
Fuck, no fucking way.
See? Sorry, old man. I wonder if Pumpkin will get the achievement. What's the achievement? Never take a hit? What? Why'd you have to go and say that? Now I'm interested. Well, maybe not. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this kid. This kid makes me upset because I don't know what to do about him. A peony. Cat! A cat wearing clothes. Oh, look at that little guy. There's a puzzle nearby. Solving will grant a reward. I have a feeling I can sense the puzzle. Oh, found the puzzle. Well, that was easy enough. Pick up, little Buddha. Put down, little Buddha. Hello, meow meow. Thanks, meow meow, for the little bells.
Oh my
There's an
god!
achievement for losing to the old man. Oh! Are you telling me I should lose to the old man? It's kind of hard to lose to the old man, though, because you have to, like, get up in his grill. I stole embers? What?
Dude, this old man is like fucking me up, so I don't know how the fuck you beat him, dude. He's
Oh.
like actually annihilating me.
Oh. You got this!
He's 4-0 right now.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. I got 1 point on him. I'm gonna get the achievement just by fucking fucking it up.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Oh, Jesus.
Damn, get annihilated. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. You just showed up and you made me scared. Fishing! Hello!
The old timer got it. Dude.
That's crazy.
Fucked me up.
I didn't know about the tune until my friend lost. Also, I won the first time also. Well, I don't know.
Game, apparently.
The only one I lost to was the kid.
I lost a couple times already. I lost to the lady and I lost to the old man.
I've equipped it.
Oh my god. I keep pressing the wrong buttons too. I think that's the big issue.
Oh, they are really random and weird, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this game was supposed to be like on a controller or something.
Yeah, maybe. Bro, he's so tough, man. What the shit?
So I would go at him. I had to block most of my stuff, and then I deflected his kick, and then I went at him. That's mostly what I did. Because he doesn't attack first, so you have to initiate the fight.
Dude, am I supposed to press E or R to deflect? I can't.
I think
E.
E is deflect.
Okay.
Right click is just block.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
It's on fire over there. Whee! Whoop! Whoop! Personal preference that I recommend if you're on a mouse and keyboard, I change my parry to right click. Well, that's smart. Isn't that block or no, that's what you mean, okay. Is there any reason why you shouldn't just parry? Like, you just block instead of...
Oh,
I just parry and dodge, because if
Yeah.
you block, you still take damage.
yeah.
Yeah, so like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, I'm so fucked, dude. Yeah, I lost again.
Pumpkin is on story mode, so could have been a little easier.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's very true. Shut up, child.
I
Fuck,
play
I was
Legend.
timing that bad.
You're crazy for that. I heard that the only thing that's different is that you get like medals or something. Muda ship, thank you for the follow. Muda, 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 muda.
Why
Guys, this old man
Why
is
play
getting
a
the
legend
shit out of me.
when you can be a legend? Hi, random. How was the Game Awards? You get a medal on your profile for beating bosses. Oh, okay.
This dude's literally gonna try to fight me while I'm like talking with this kid. What the fuck's wrong with you? I can't even get out of it. He's just gonna come and attack me.
Just kill him.
Oh, I'm not taking any damage. I'm taking damage! I can't! I'm stuck in the store! Ah! This is so fucked. Get off of me, you dumb bitch!
Fought him first.
I can't get over here, can I yet?
God,
Bro.
have some fucking respect for a conversation that you weren't invited into!
Guys, I might be bad at this game. This old guy is kicking my ass, dude.
He's one of the hardest ones.
He is?
My friends are ranting about Dota and I've tuned out of their convo. What is this game? I've never seen it before. This is called Where Winds Meet. That wasn't intentional.
Oh,
It was alright. A certain game swept. Can you guess? Expedition 33?
but I won
I told you it was the Expedition 33 show.
Also, Mashi, it's an advancement to K. It's story advancement. Okay, okay. Yeah, I figured it's locked behind some store quest.
Oh my god, he's just...
Yeah, it won 9 or 10 awards. I honestly lost count. Holy crap.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Probably won every one of those nominated for.
Oh.
I nominated it for Best Game of the Year, and I nominated it for Best Soundtrack.
It won best soundtrack.
Yeah, I kind of figured it would.
Let me look here. I know it had a lot.
I just
Game of
hope
the
so
Year.
far one indie.
Definitely play it random, it's so good.
Game of the Year, Claire Obscure. Best Game Direction, Claire Obscure. Best Adaptation... Best Narrative, Claire Obscure. Best Art Direction, Claire Obscure. Best Score and Music, Claire Obscure. Best Audio Design, Battlefield 6. Best Performance, Jennifer English, Expedition 33.
Ah, yes, my Jennifer English. I love her so much.
Games for impact.
Mushi, did you hear about the new
Dude,
hero shooter?
Master loves hero shooters.
Pumpkin
I don't know what that
fucking
is.
loves hero shooter. You should tell us all about it.
Best community support Baldur's Gate 3. Best ongoing
Yep.
game No Man's Sky. Best
Wow.
independent game Clair Obscur.
Hopefully.
What
Best
one?
debut.
The love, the like what is it? What was it? Something of love.
Well, we'll find out. Games for impact with South of Midnight. I don't know what games.
Oh, I like South of Midnight. Yeah, that was a good. That was
good
a.
one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Best
I wasn't
debut.
too happy about the ending, but it's fine.
Yeah. Best debut indie game is Clair Obscur. Best mobile game Uma Musume. Best VR AR game The Midnight Walk. Best action game Hades 2.
Comes out in January, free to play.
Best
Called-
action adventure
No,
game.
fuck!
Best action adventure game was Silksong.
At least it's only got something.
Yeah. Best RPG Clair Obscur. Best family game
Did
Donkey
Kingdom
Kong
Come
Bonanza.
get anything?
Best multiplayer is Arc Raiders. I don't think
Back
so.
out.
Crazy.
Oh, Arc Raiders Arc Raiders got an award. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
Just-
How about a
just
game that
surprisingly,
came out that was
not
good
everyone's
and not
is an asshole of a
broken
game.
on day one?
That's why.
Player's voice was Wuthering Waves.
Wuthering Waves, really?
Yeah.
That's
Marvel
interesting.
was in there for best multiplayer too. And Arc
Labor
Raiders
of Love, that's
was
what I'm thinking of. Best game for Labor of Love or something.
Hi.
There was no.
Iron Finger Yang?
The game is South of Midnight is also coming to Switch 2 and PS5. Is it? I played it on a PC on Xbox Game Pass. It was pretty good. The ending was a little I don't know. You can judge it for yourself if you ever decide to play it. South of
Oh, you're the
Midnight.
guy over there.
Oops.
It didn't get a lot of attention.
9. It won 9 awards.
crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty nutty, yeah.
Fucking love the Sabers so much.
What one labor of love?
I didn't see one in the list. I was.
I
was
swear
on
that
this
was an
call.
option. Because I was trying to vote for Stardew Valley. Because it was like a... I don't
How do
know.
I do it?
How do you
Not
do what?
interested in your shitty AI. Was that the Steam Awards or the Game Awards?
Steam Awards.
How do I...
I was doing the Game
No,
Awards.
Steam Awards doesn't even say what won. They just.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't say what.
Well, it's not over, is it? December 1st
Yeah.
till January 3rd is the voting.
Well, they already got 2025 winners on here. Oh, they must be doing the. Oh, this is just the actual Game Awards, not Steam's.
No, Game Awards just finished.
Okay, guys. I think we're gonna end for the day.
Yeah?
For the night.
Yeah. How do I...
Mega Man announced. Okay, so we got a new hero shooter called Old Geoff. That's a weird name. Let me see. Oh shit. Where did I go to? Okay, that's fine. I want to see... No, don't do that. I want to see a trailer for this.
Bro exhausted me twice. Come on, dude.
No.
Fuck, I hate this guy, dude.
Oh. Petrific.
High Guard.
How do I copy this? Answers in Chinese. Oh my god.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
know, but Old Geoff made a big... Who the heck is Old Geoff?
How do I do that?
High Guard? Is that what it was called? No, that's not it.
How do I
That's
do
not
it?
Energy off the
Wait, what
hero.
update did Claire Obscure?
Whoa.
Claire Obscure got like 9 awards.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
like all of them.
Yeah, they updated though for it.
Oh, they updated.
A new
There's
playable
a little
environment,
T
taking
there
the
that can
characters to new
translate it.
adventures.
Sorry. This old man is bothering me.
Is that
They
old man
updated,
bothering
Endless
you,
Tower.
King?
Yeah, someone kill this old man for me.
When are you gonna learn, old man?
Yeah, there you go. I was trying really hard to remember.
I don't know.
the
I don't
line.
even know if that's what he
Well,
said.
my
but-
brain was like, "We're gonna kick your ass, old man." Like they wouldn't say that in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
We're
How
gonna
many
kick
times do
you.
we have to- how many
Teach you
times
this
do we have to
lesson,
this
old
lesson,
man.
old man?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. How many times did I teach you
Oh
this
my
lesson?
god. I'm
There's
just
a
timing
little
these so
key
badly.
there that can translate it. Yeah. T for translate. Freeze
Oh,
this
blinded.
person.
I don't see any information
How
about
I
this
freeze
game.
them?
JJ?
Oh.
Oh, I'm not targeting him.
You
That's
said
why.
there was a new hero shooter. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
How do I do that?
Marvel Rivals confirms Deadpool as next playable character.
Huzzah!
I love
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Would technically be Rogue, but I guess Rogue's already been.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogue's coming out Friday, so.
Oh no, that one.
I hope they make Deadpool a healer. I think it would be funny.
I think he's gonna be DPS.
He's gonna be DPS. Which is fair. I mean, they came out with a healer, they came out with a tank. I know there's still a million DPS, but it's only fair that a DPS comes out. Not that
Well,
another
I
fucking
thought
DPS.
I thought Rogue was supposed to be a healer too.
There's something
That's
different
what I
about
thought
the
too,
atmosphere
but
leading
they
up to
changed it
this
to
year's
tank, I
Game
think.
Awards. Normally, we get the usual cycle of speculation
makes
and
sense.
wish lists,
Yeah.
but right now the industry
It
feels like
works.
it's holding its breath. Between leaks, insider
How do I
teasers,
freeze
developer
them?
breadcrumbs,
Oh,
and even
man,
straight-up
dude.
accidental reveals, there's
Yeah,
the sense that the show on
Sugar.
December 11th could be
Oh,
backed with some of the
Pumpkin,
biggest
who was-
announcements
who was
we've
like,
had in a
"Did you
long
get the
time.
achievement?"
And what's interesting is that
And
most of
Pumpkin's
these
like,
hints
"No,"
aren't coming
he's-
from
oh, you have to
vague
lose to the
tweets.
old
They're
guy,
coming
and
from
I'm like,
reliable
I'm getting my fucking
insiders,
ass
data
whooped
mining,
over here. I don't know how you
back-end
didn't
store
lose
updates,
to
and
him.
people who
He's
have
so
My
fucking
response
hard.
was,
right.
I don't
So
even
let's
know
take
how
a
you
look at
lose to
everything
him.
pointing toward what might be revealed on.
I mean, he got one
Fantasy
on
raid
me,
shooter?
but that was
Man's
because I
uncharted.
messed up my buttons.
And dangers untold.
I'm a dumbass hoe. How do you freeze people?
And ride without rest. For coin or for cause. I fight to the end.
I have to- I don't understand. Oh,
Here we go.
do I have the wrong?
Bringing the heat.
Do we have Meridian Touch? I don't know. I've frozen people before.
Your light belongs to me.
Interesting.
Bro, he exhausts me so
There's
quick.
horses.
Shieldbreaker
There's
forming.
horses!
It looks interesting. It's very pretty.
Strike fast.
Uma Musume Rivals.
No.
Wait a second.
Pumpkin, your hate for Uma's is insane.
Who's the old man? Elder?
Oh, an elder
He's an old
dog.
man. He's moving real slow.
It looks unique.
I am the coming storm.
That's anyone who uses that word actually.
No, it does. It looks like it's not gonna be like another. You know how like I don't know.
Hi. Oh, are you the guy that I fought earlier?
I am a warden.
You're a level
Overwatch's
16?
Battlefield.
It's by the same creators of Titanfall.
Level
Apex.
16.
Is that a
Level
furry? Sorry. Phantom Blade 0. Apex
Am I not allowed
Legends,
to
the
fight
hero
you?
shooter. Is this another Souls-like
Oh.
baby?
What? Come on, Zao.
Why is
You
there
know you
always a
wanna
baby
fight
involved with
me.
this?
What, you're not gonna fight because I'm a girl? I beat your ass in the fucking race earlier.
Look how cool I am with I'm holding a baby and I'm kicking ass. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Rock the baby.
Yeah, it totally. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
No one goes near that place, at least not anymore. But you.
Reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes, bye. It's telling me to use the thing.
I knew it. You'd never break so easily.
Ghost of Tsushima.
But why did you come back?
Sorry, I'm bad with comparing other games to.
They won't feel again.
I'm bad with that.
What difficulty are you on, Shade?
I don't know, just recommended or whatever it is.
Okay, I was on recommended too, but I did one more shot.
Okay, well I'm just fucking bad.
No,
Dude,
no,
I-
no. So when I first did him, he absolutely destroyed me. I ult up switch not right. The second time I did him, his AI broke and he was the easiest fighter.
He was going kind of crazy.
Oh, this looks fun.
Yes,
Oh.
must be fine.
You want to try to counter the red move because you do.
Well,
a big
yeah.
counter on that.
Please,
But like,
take it. Save
you
our
just
Also,
like
you can hold block. You can hold block and counter.
The girls
Okay, I don't
Let us
have
show
that.
now.
Yeah, that's what it's telling me. Okay, what's that?
You broke my blade.
Oh, I'm
What
in
is
the
he,
water.
waterboarding
I'm in the
himself?
water.
Oh, he's drunk as fuck. Holy shit.
His movement. Striking from where none expect.
can't even dodge out of his way. Oh my god! You guys
Hello,
are
Wayfarer.
fucking lying.
His breath,
You fucking beat
we
it.
channeled into
I'm
steel,
not. I promise.
turning
you.
any blade into a divine
Wait, where
weapon.
are you taking me? I like the Wayfarer. I like his voice.
This looks very intense.
When Phantom and Blade
can't
unite,
Every boss fight,
no
it's not
enemy
even gonna be fun to play.
stands.
Whatever. Ooh, that's cool. Oh. Bradley the Badger.
Brother! You want to eat this petal cyclone?
Phantom Blade.
Hey,
Who
good
are you?
kitty. Nice.
Hi, Bonnie.
Badgerborn. Tried exploring
Oh, this is Bradley the Badger.
the classics. It's what I do.
Don't call me young master.
A badger in a Souls-like?
Unfinished. And that's
You guys will kick your ass.
and everything changed. Literally. Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's not a Souls-like. It's like a platformer. Okay.
I had a new grasp on things. I learned tricks that blew my mind. I really transformed myself.
That's really cute.
Made a bunch of new friends.
The Last Badger. Oh my god. Is that a Last of Us reference?
Figured out how to think big
Whoa.
and small.
This reminds me of those videos that they have playing at
And then
the
code
ramen
broke
houses or the bubble tea places
And that's
or
when
the
I
banh
found
mi
you.
places up on the TV where it's just showing really pretty pictures of like different parts of Asia.
That looks cute. That does
I
look
feel
cute.
like they're just in constant state of advertising. Look at, we're really pretty, you
That
guys.
text
Please
is
come visit us.
screaming Banjo-Kazooie.
The Bradley the Badger? Yeah.
Yeah, the title text.
Mm-hmm.
Hello
see.
there. God, I don't know why I'm always attracted to the ones that are drinking off by themselves. I need to get help.
Yeah, look at it. It's very, I wish they
Oh my
announced
goodness,
Peggle 3.
shut your voice down.
Peggle 3 would be so goated.
You're still drinking, sneaking and drinking. No, I'm just borrowing it. You know, borrowing. Next time you're in Raging Tides, young wanderer, I'll make sure. Tides, what if I need to stop by Raging Tides right now?
Oh,
Not just yet. I'm
Requiem.
still hunting on the best brewing ingredients. Oh,
Divinity
you're a
World?
brewer. Kind of cute.
No one
though.
mentioned this.
Too bad you're a drunk.
Now it's time to put an end to gaming's
Nah, there's
most
no fucking way I
controversial
can counter
mystery.
that. Like, what the fuck?
What? Why are you yelling?
He's not really yelling.
Why are you yelling?
What do you mean? Why were you yelling for me? I wasn't even in this town 2 minutes ago.
Oh, she's talking to the game.
Young master, you're my only hope.
2027 Mega Man. I've never played any Mega Man.
I was thinking of Mega Mind.
Mega Mind?
Play? You're telling me he has a video game?
I think he does.
This is the one where the guy gets burned alive as a sacrifice. Is this...
With his Pippa? Pippa Pig? You what?
Jesus. Ah.
Hello, Goose. What do I do with this Goose? Can I be your friend? Ah!
What is this?
Hello there. Sorry. Sorry.
Too
Sorry,
much.
didn't mean to bump into you. Sorry. Sorry.
A new Tomb
Sorry.
Raider game?
Oh, they
Ooh.
have an aggression bar. That's really funny.
There's a new one coming out and a remake coming out too.
Is this a game or a movie?
Wing.
Or a
No,
show?
it's a game. It's a game.
Holy fuck.
I've heard a dozen tall tales that say you're unstoppable.
Oh god, wait. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm gambling. Shit.
But I say,
Let's do it.
all legends must come to an end.
What are we doing?
Did they give her muscles?
I don't know how to play this game!
That's where you're wrong.
No.
I'm just getting started.
What?
Dude, what the fuck? No, it's just he's doing the same move over and over again. He's not even like giving me an
Yeah, that's how my first one went.
Oops.
When he does the weird sit-down split thing, back up, he'll get up and dash at you, and you can counter
No,
that move.
that
pretty
one's
easily.
like that's the easy one. The hard one
Okay.
is when he's fucking just like spinning around and kicking the fuck
The
out of me. I
13
can't
hit
even.
combo.
Yeah, like I can't even fucking recover.
This is what I've been waiting for. Pragmata.
Oh my god.
How you gonna play it though?
It's not gonna be on like Xbox Game Pass?
You've been to the sea
Or
before? On Earth?
I don't understand.
No.
How do I capture demo if I can't go over there?
Got a house with a view and everything. You just gonna stay here when this is all done? What do you want?
Aww.
I don't understand what I've lost.
I've been waiting for this one. It looks
Please
so
be telling me
good.
other pieces of in-game shiny shit. Yeah, but I don't know what to do now. I can't go over there.
Hello, unregistered guests. Your presence here is a violation of Cradle Security Protocol.
What?
You can't smell that?
That's so cute! Nintendo Switch! Steam! Gameplay available today? Demo available today?
Coming later.
I don't. Yeah, confirm. I don't want to play chess with you, bro.
Oh, I'm blocking that.
Demo.
Demo. No, Mashi, you have to play this game for 2 weeks and then you can go to your next game.
Wait, what game is this Pragmata?
Butter!
The demo is available on Steam.
Is it?
Yeah.
Butter, stop barking at this person.
Did you see Twitch 2 exclusive they announced?
Oh, I don't have a phone.
I'm just looking stuff up.
Is that a thief, Butter? Get him. Get him, Butter. Get him.
This one? Orbitals? Duskbloods? I'm so sad Duskbloods is a exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Same.
You want me to kill him for you? You want me to kill that old man for you, Shade?
Oh, I love the
Dude,
90s style.
There's. You must have gone to different AI because mine's fucking like eviscerating me. Like
yeah.
Like he's just crazy.
I don't know. I'm not even particularly good at this game either, so I can't, or these types of games, so I don't even know why. Hello, dog! Why are you just... Are you good?
The style is so cool! Holy crap! I love it too!
イエイ
Nintendo Switch 2から出るよ。
イエイお楽しみに
Yay!
Go to develop
I've also
now.
been waiting for this one. Did they announce more information on this one? Or is this the same trailer that we've been seeing?
Or die.
Another folded realm.
Oh, more things
My
to do.
girl,
Lover.
my
There's a
my.
memory
Wants
from
to be
Amaranth.
my
I love her.
lover.
We thought all his knights were dead.
Yeah, Battlefield.
Yet Lamorak sends one more. I almost admire him.
Tyranno! But you're one of the White King's sorceresses. You destroyed the White Lands.
That destruction is in fact salvation.
You're insane.
I think this one is PS5 exclusive.
Accept your defeat.
Narak! She's created another folded realm. I can't reach her.
Shop a fish.
Take the spear.
Ooh. That was really cool.
She's human again.
It seems you do have the capacity to surprise us.
Wait, what birds do you want me to kill? I don't know. I haven't seen a bird. That bird? You fucked up. Come on.
Even with your
Ah.
new ally, we end this here.
Oh, you just wanted me to chase away the birds?
Enemy of my enemy. I lend you my strength.
We fight as one.
Don't tell me you killed the dog Butters, Mashy.
No.
Was it the one that was near the three statues?
Tyranno
No.
I killed that one.
No.
I didn't mean to. It auto-locked onto him.
Bruh.
I'm not in the game. Why?
You guys are just bad people.
Cause I'm hurt. I need healing. I need a doctor.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end stream.
That's what you said like an hour ago.
I'm actually gonna end stream.
Yeah.
Oops.
Sure. Whatever you say, buddy.
Bye bye. I'm gonna
Bye-bye.
raid someone. No crying. No crying, JJ.
Hello, Goose.
I'll miss you guys. Thank you for the new follows. And the gift and the subs. Not the gifted subs, but the subs.
Sit down. Yes. I'm sitting. Look at me, I'm so pretty with my little pretty parasol.
We're gonna raid Wick. Bye
Wiki
bye.
Woo. What's up? What are you doing? Pitch pot. Count your coins. Commerce.
Goodbye.
Huh?